Hey, there we go. Hey, what is up, y'all? Welcome to Game Day here at Heavy Cardboard. Teach, play, and discuss medium and heavy strategy board games, war games, 18xx. We're your hosts, kind of. It's like the four of us are all hosting. So, hi, I'm Edward.
I'm Jess.
Hi, Matt.
I'm Tony.
All right, so today, a little Stationfall action. Designed by that guy directly to my left, across Jess over there, Matt Eklund, and published by Ion Game Design. Now, a couple things today. First off, this is a sponsored live stream, so thanks to everybody over at Ion Game Design, which includes Basime, Yoon, obviously Matt in that regard. Also, Jess is their international marketing director, but they're also a partner of Heavy Cardboard, so thanks to everybody over at Ion. Also, this is currently available on Kickstarter, and we are playing on TTS, my favorite. So this should be a good time today. But thankfully, since we have Matt with us, Matt's going to take over the role of teaching, because if you have the designer, why not let him? Yay. So I appreciate that. It should be a good time. So welcome everybody watching live around the world, as well as after the fact. If you enjoy the stream, give it a thumb down below, subscribe. Support the show over on patreon.com/HCHQ. So Matt, you wanna give an overview, or at least a little bit of background, anything about, or you just want to get into it?
This is Stationfall. It's a game about a falling station. You will be surprised to learn. Maybe. I have been designing this game for some time. It's a little bit counterintuitive, so I'm glad that I have the opportunity to try to teach it here, and I'm happy to be here.
All right. Well, without further ado, then, if everybody's ready to rock and roll, then I say, you know what? Let's get into it. So if everybody local is ready, everybody watching at home is ready, let's get into Stationfall. As I mentioned, it is going to be TTS, and Matt, the ball, it is your court.
Now, TTS is a lovely product, and I can't speak highly enough of it, Edward, despite your intimations there.
No, I imagine for like playtesting and for anybody that can't have in-person gaming, say, I don't know if there were ever a pandemic, this would be amazing. I like tangible, so that's all. That's my thing.
I get it. Well, TTS, I can say without a doubt that TTS saved the Stationfall project by allowing us to continue work on it without being able to sit around and move bits on the board.
Fair enough.
So the first thing I want to talk about is the map. So the map is in front of you, and it's got 3 different colored sections. And this map represents the corporate space station full of illegal science that is suddenly and inexplicably bound to re-enter Earth's atmosphere and incinerate everyone and everything on board. The station itself, you can see on the box art, if that's available, but it's got a central hub, and I want to talk about the hub because the hub sections in this game are all colored pink, and that's to try to help you be able to distinguish that those sections generally connect to each other. So characters in the game will be moving from section to section, and the hub is one of the types of sections in the game, the pink sections, and they'll move along these corridors which move from section to section. Now there's also a forward ring, which is the yellow sections here. And because the map is built on top of a three-dimensional model of a pretty cool space station, that can make some of the angles that we're looking at a little bit tricky. And so that's why we colored them this way, because it's important to note when you're playing the game that the two rings are both attached to a single hub. But if you want to move between the rings, then you're going to have to go to the hub to do so. So if you were, say, here in the rec room, in the aft ring, if you wanted to go to the main frame here, there's no corridor connecting them. Those are two separate rings, perhaps even spinning in opposite directions. And you would have to go down to the hub and back to the forward hub, and then up to the nano factory, and then over to the mainframe to make that movement. And I'm highlighting this because it's important for players who are starting to play the game to try to understand the map. The map movement is very simple. You're just going to move from section to section. However, the arrangement is built around a three-dimensional model, and that can make it a little bit trickier. The second thing I want to talk about are the characters. Now, the station is full of all sorts of robots, humans, and none of the aboves. And in our particular setup, we are just going to have robots and humans. We're going to play with the beginner setup here. So some of the simpler characters in the game. And so we have, normally you would randomly choose these, but we've chosen 12 characters, and they're on the right of the board here. Now, the number of characters scales based on the number of players in the game. For a 4-player game, there's 12 characters. So we're going to be playing 4 players today. So here's our 12. And each of these characters is represented by a pawn of their icon. So if you want to find the troubleshooter, for example, is the first character I see here in our list, you'll go look for somebody with that little wrench and screwdriver, and you'll see that they're here in the print shop, perhaps printing up some trouble. The stranger is going to be located here in the nano factory, etc. So those icons are going to be important for identifying the individual pawns that are on the map. And the color of the pawn, as well as its shape, will tell you whether a particular character is a human or a robot. That is also important for victory conditions in the game, as well as how certain characters act. For example, if your room is suddenly filled with gas, that's a bad thing. If you're a human, it's not so bad. If you're a robot, if you get thrown out in an airlock, it's bad. If you're a human with no helmet, it's not so bad. If you're a robot, and things like that. So that's another thing to take a look at on the characters. Now, each character, there's 27 total characters in the game. You'll deal in, for this number of players, 12 out, and each one may or may not add a certain aspect to the game. So for example, we have the troubleshooter in the game. It's possible certainly to play without the troubleshooter. But because the troubleshooter's in the game, the station will have this additional token that is a cargo claw. Where
is that? Oh, down there. Got it. Yep.
Down here, yes.
Yep.
It's a separate section attached to the station with a giant robotic claw, useful for mangling people who are hiding outside the station and things like that. The characters have certain characteristics about them, and there's lots of them, and so the game is fairly intricate, but each of the characters has sort of the standard idea that they have 1 or 2 abilities, and you can tell what their abilities are because they're in these big colored sections. So if we go to if we go back to the troubleshooter card, you can see that the troubleshooter has 2 abilities: tunnel rat and jury rig. Tunnel rat allows the troubleshooter to step through vents, so they can use the step action to move through vents. A vent is one of these red dashed lines that goes from a section to a section. So the troubleshooter could take a shortcut from straight from the reactor to the kitchen, or straight from the aft hub to the aft exhaust, for example, by following these red dashed lines. That's a special ability, and only the troubleshooter can do that, or I should say any character that has the tunnel rat ability. of which it looks like the Astro Chimp is also in our game. The Astro Chimp also good at climbing through vents, handy in a pinch if you need to go through a vent. All right, Jury Rig is another ability in the game. The Troubleshooter has Jury Rig, has Tunnel Rat, basically just for being the troubleshooter in the game. And as an action, you can imagine they can repair a co-located damaged section or a downed robot. So the troubleshooter is very good at fixing things. If for some reason something gets broken on board, I can't imagine how, then the troubleshooter would be somebody you might be interested in if you're trying to fix things. The troubleshooter's abilities are always on. Those are things that they have. There's a third ability on the troubleshooter that is not in colors, and that's in the bottom right. And this is the case for all of the characters. And that is your reveal power, your reveal ability. Well, what's that? The whole premise of the game is that you've got 12 characters on board, or however many. And we're going to deal identity cards to each player, 2 identity cards, and they're going to, at some point during the game, even if it's at the very end, right before scoring, at some point, every player is going to reveal who they are. Okay, this could happen on turn 1, this could happen on turn 5, it could happen on the last turn of the game, it can happen after the game is over and right before scoring. But at some point, every player is going to reveal who they are. And when they do, whenever that is, they will gain their reveal ability, their reveal power, which is on the bottom right of the card. So the troubleshooter has talked them through it, which is pretty neat. Allows the troubleshooter to tell other characters how to use the tunnels or use the vents or fix things. However, the troubleshooter does not have that power until and unless they are revealed as a player. So if you are secretly the troubleshooter and you are doing troubleshooter things with the troubleshooter, you will not be able to use that ability until you reveal as the troubleshooter. I should mention, before we go further into depth on these characters, that while everybody is secretly ultimately going to reveal as somebody, that's going to leave a lot of characters out there in the world for anybody to use. And during the course of play, assuming that a character has not revealed themselves to be a player, you can influence them and do actions with them. So in the beginning, at the very beginning of the game, nobody's going to be revealed. Everybody's going to be manipulating each other and different characters to try to achieve their goals. At some point during the game, some of these characters will likely reveal to be players. And when that happens, they'll gain both their reveal power, but also sole control over the character. All right, so those victory conditions, what are you searching for? What are you trying to accomplish? Well, that is always on the bottom left of every character card. So every one of the characters has its victory conditions on the bottom left. So for the troubleshooter, again, the troubleshooter is a robo-populist, believes in robot rights, really wants robots to live, and thinks that humans are mostly scum. You can see that they will score points. These little yellow stars mean victory points, basically. They will score points. The troubleshooter will score points for every NPC that escapes. An NPC is a non-player character. So that means a character that is not a player who has revealed themselves. So if any NPCs escape, that's a point for the troubleshooter. They get bonus points if robot NPCs escape, quite a lot of them. So the troubleshooter will be highly interested in getting the medical robot and the cyborg, which is both a human and a robot, to try to escape the station. But we'll be wary because they don't want to pursue that if that's going to end up being a player. That won't score them points. Finally, the troubleshooter will score 2 points if the troubleshooter escapes. So the troubleshooter does care about her own life. She does want to live so that she can fight the good fight later. But that's how it looks. That's how it works for the victory conditions. And each of these characters has different victory conditions, and I'll go over them. I've been asked to do a full teach, so we'll go through each of the characters in our specific game. But I'll just note that all of the characters are going to have different and not necessarily directly competing victory conditions. And trying to deduce through the actions of other players what victory conditions they are trying to pursue can help you to interfere with those plans, in addition to pursuing your own goals. Okay, so those are the main parts of a character. There's also a section to the right which shows the items that they have. Most characters do not start with items, but I'll see the troubleshooter starts with a wrench, a bludgeon that they can use to smash things if they need to. Useful in a pinch, and we'll talk about how different items can be used during the course of play. But anytime a character picks up an item, we'll put it here on the right of the card. And there's 3 slots, which means that each character can carry 3 items, and they'll have to drop an item if they want to carry any others. All right, so those are the characters, and right now there's 12 of them out there on the station chilling, and we haven't dealt out the identity cards yet, and we'll do that. We'll do that in a little bit. But you, as a player, are going to receive 2 identity cards, and ultimately you will only be revealing as one of your 2 identity cards. So what about the other card? Well, here's how it works. When you're dealt your 2 identity cards, you're going to decide which one you would like to be your identity and which you would like to be your bonus card. So one's going to be your secret identity, one's going to be your bonus card. If I had the 2 cards in my hand like this, maybe I'll move them down here because that might be more helpful for camera location.
You're fine. You're good.
Oh, okay.
Either or.
So if I had them in my hand like this, that would mean that I'm planning on being the troubleshooter in the game, and I'm planning on my stranger being my bonus card. And a bonus card means that you care about that character in some way, positively or negatively, which I'll explain in a second. But you care about that character's future for some reason. Either they're a friend or they're a grudge. And in this particular case, the stranger would be a friend. So if this was my orientation in my hand, I'm planning on being the troubleshooter, which means I'm going to try to get NPCs to survive. I'm also going to try to get robot NPCs to survive, especially, and I'm also going to try to get off the station alive myself. In addition to those victory conditions, I also want the stranger to live. So in addition to my robo-political objectives, I also, stranger's a nice guy or gal, and I really want that character to survive. And you know this because the little bonus icons down here are little shields, little green shields. That means for the stranger, if the stranger is your bonus card, upside down in your hand like this, then you'll score that many points for that character surviving. The alternatively, at the beginning of the game, you could orient it like this, which would mean that the stranger would be pursuing the stranger's victory conditions, which are really all bonus card associated. It's personal to the stranger. They would want the troubleshooter to survive because the troubleshooter is their friend. However, not all of the bonus cards are going to be friends. Some of them are grudges. So the station chief here has a little grudge icons, little targets instead of the shields. And that's important to note. So if you're the stranger and your bonus card's the station chief, you actually don't want the station chief to escape, but actually you want more than just the station chief not to escape. You want the station chief to be down and not escaped. And down is the equivalent of incapacitated or dead in this game. So you would want the station chief to be bashed over the head in some dark closet somewhere, or something like that, way out of reach of medical help from the robot or anybody else. And if you do so, then you'll score as many points as it has icons, which for the station chief is 2. So we'll talk about how to go about trying to accomplish these tasks. But what's important to note is at the beginning of the game, you're going to get 2 identity cards, and your first decision is which one you want to be your secret identity and which one you want to be your bonus card. Now, when you decide to reveal, this is not a permanent decision. So if you decide, I want a secret identity is going to be the stranger, my bonus card is going to be the station chief. If you are really in a jam, you can do what's called a Schrodinger reveal, which will allow you to discard your secret identity face down and then reveal as your bonus card. So at the beginning of the game, you're going to have victory conditions that you're working towards. However, you're going to have a plan B in your pocket. And at all times, you should be trying to at least consider, hey, what if this, what if the station chief doesn't work out? Maybe I should be thinking about the stranger's victory conditions. What if this is going horribly wrong? The station chief's trying to save people. What if there's a murderous cyborg on the loose and a monster that's eating everybody? Maybe I want to switch. Maybe I don't want to be reveal as the station chief. I want to reveal as the stranger instead. So it is an initial decision in the game, but it's not a binding one. It becomes binding as soon as you actually reveal. As soon as you reveal as somebody, then it's done. You've made your choice. You've picked your path, and you're going to be pursuing those victory conditions for the remainder of the game.
But the Schrodinger one basically is you're sacrificing whatever the victory points could be on the bonus card, right?
Yes, exactly. And maybe that's a perfectly reasonable sacrifice. It's a decision that has to be thought about to make. But regardless, the point is that even if things go horribly wrong for plan A, you should be able to have a plan B in your pocket. Unless, of course, you've murdered plan B and dragged them into a closet somewhere, thrown them out at an airlock, then, decisions have consequences. Yeah, mistakes are made. But it makes
for a good story.
It will be a good story.
So that's the fundamental way that the game works. We're going to be secretly choosing a set of victory conditions from these face-up victory conditions. Then we're all going to be interacting with these characters and getting them to do stuff to try to push our agenda, with the possibility that we may switch agendas during the course of the game to your backup plan, or the character that you were using to accomplish your agenda might in fact be another player, and they will reveal as that character, and that character has betrayed you and will is no longer reliable. But I have some confidence that some amount of betraying or similar things will happen in our game, because there's not much universal about a playthrough of Stationfall. But yes, did you have a question, Jess?
No, I was saying we're ready for this.
All right, good. I'm glad. Buckle up. Yes, that's the name of the game. If someone hadn't already named the game that, maybe it would be in the title of mine. So how do we interact with these characters?
How do we interact with these characters, Matt? Do tell.
There you go. Great. Thank you for asking, Edward. A timely question. We are going to be using influence cubes. So each of the players is represented by a color, and the color is going to represent your resources in the game. And there's a number of different types of resources in the game, but the primary one is influence cubes. And so you will use these cubes, of which you have exactly 8, in order to place them on the character cards out here in play, in order to add them to your conspiracy. So regardless of who you are, let's say these 2 cards are in fact me, the troubleshooter and station chief and the stranger.
Yep.
Let's say those are the 2 cards in my hand. Maybe I've flapped them like this. So the station chief and the stranger in my hand, that does not in any way bind me to influencing only the station chief or only the stranger. In fact, doing that might give away, somewhat give away your hand, maybe. You can try to accomplish the tasks of the station chief with anyone on board. So you could influence the daredevil. So I could, as an example, take a cube, an influence cube from my pool, and place it on the Daredevil. You place it on the bottom right of the card, is where we put all the influence cubes on the little ghosted influence cube spot. And there can be any number of cubes on a given card. So I can place a cube there, and as long as I have at least one cube and no one else has more cubes than me. So in other words, if I have at least tied for the most cubes on a given character, then that character becomes part of my conspiracy, and I can activate them and get them to do things. So maybe on my first turn, I would influence the Daredevil, and I would activate the Daredevil. Every turn, you have an influence phase and an activation phase. Then I go do some stuff with the Daredevil. And then the following turn, maybe I would influence the chimp, and I would activate the chimp and go do things with the chimp. And then the following turn, maybe I'd put some more cubes out on the counselor. Maybe I'd put more cubes on the Daredevil, or maybe I wouldn't put any cubes out at all and just go back and activate the Daredevil again. The point is, if you have at least tied for the most cubes on a character and you have at least one, then you can activate the character. But as is being shown by the presence of orange cubes here on the Daredevil, let's say I influence the Daredevil, activate the Daredevil, influence the chimp, activate the chimp, and then it comes back to my turn. I cannot activate the Daredevil. The Daredevil has somewhat betrayed me. She's not picking up her phone and not following your orders anymore. However, during my turn, I still have an influence phase. I could decide to influence the Daredevil to at least get up to tied, or maybe I could just dump a bunch more on there just because I really need the Daredevil to listen to me, and then activate the Daredevil again. So that's how play works. You're going to use your cubes, your influence cubes, to influence characters, add them to your conspiracy, and then use conspirators, activate them to actually do stuff on the map. And the goal is going to be to try to accomplish the victory conditions on whatever character you decide to reveal as, that being one of the two cards, the two identity cards that are in your hand. Okay, questions, thoughts, concerns so far?
No, so you are going to throw influence cubes out here, and as long as you're tied for the lead, then you can select them to call it control them, use them as your action for the turn.
Exactly.
Got it.
We call it activate.
Yep.
And so the sequence of play during your turn, and everyone's going to take turns or whatever, but during your turn, the sequence of play is first you make a decision about whether to reveal. So at the beginning of your turn, you can make a decision as to whether you want to reveal your identity. In other words, play one of your identities face up and get your fancy power, and take full control over your character. And I should talk about this because let's say the Daredevil does look like this. The Daredevil has got 2 pink and 2 orange on it, and me and Edward are fighting over who's going to control the Daredevil. Well, it's possible, of course, that the Daredevil is actually Tony. And Tony could reveal on his turn, in which case he would put his little reveal token over the Daredevil slot like such. And that means that all of our influence, hard-earned influence that was here, would be moved to the betrayal box. And the betrayal box is where influence goes to die. This is not a fun place to have your cubes get stuck. It's possible to get your cubes back from a character by doing a renegotiate, which I'll discuss, but it's pretty difficult to get them out of betrayal. You would have to use one of the station's special places, like the therapy garden or something, to try to work through all the problems caused by the Daredevil suddenly ghosting you and not following your advice anymore. I'll also mention that, let's say Tony had 2 cubes out here too, and then he reveals as the Daredevil. All these cubes go to betrayal except for Tony's. Tony, because it's actually him, those resources are actually returned to him. And so he can use them however he sees fit in the future. It's only the rest of us whose resources go to betrayal. So it can be risky to put all your eggs in one basket. You get 8 cubes in the game. You do want to make thoughtful decisions. And the game sort of, I mean, generally, every game plays out differently, but generally, people, a common first turn for everybody is just going to be to put a cube on somebody and activate them. When you see more cubes thrown about, that implies, whether it's bluffing or not, that that person has some confidence in that character. And you obviously are going to have much more confidence over the characters that you have in your hand. You at least know that nobody else is them, right? There's only one cyborg identity card, only one troubleshooter identity card. You at least know that nobody else is going to reveal as one of those characters. So those are reliable characters for you to put cubes on. But to get the job done, don't be surprised if cubes end up in betrayal in this game. I have been, comments have poured in that the betrayal box is not big enough on the map due to the number of cubes that can land in it. Especially in the larger player games. The game goes up to 9 players. If you're playing with 9 players, you'd be filling this entire side to the left of the station with 8 additional characters.
Yeah, and I'm showing everybody up top all the other ones that are not in play there.
Yes, so. That's a sideboard that shows other characters that are in the game, but just not in our particular playthrough. All right, so that's how characters work. So I was going through the sequence of play. I said, hey, the first thing you do is you reveal or decide whether to reveal. You certainly don't have to reveal, but every turn you can decide whether to reveal. The next thing you'll do is your influence phase. In an influence phase, you can place 1 or more cubes on a single character. 1 or more cubes on a single character. That's an influence phase. You don't have to place cubes. You don't have to influence anybody. But that's what an influence phase is. Now, I'm going to go through some of these abilities, not all of them. Many of them are just are self-explanatory. But ones I want to mention, just because they can cause confusion for players who are just starting, are the purple abilities. And the purple abilities have to do with influence. So those are important for the act of actually placing cubes on their characters. So the medical robot is helpful. The medical robot is not going to pursue necessarily one player's agenda over another's too much. And that means that it's represented by, I should say, no player can have more than 1 cube on this character. So you can't dump 3 cubes onto the medical robot. You can only place 1. And so that means that everybody's always going to be tied for the most with medical. And medical is not someone that you want to pick if you want reliability. They may get distracted by the appearance of patients somewhere and need to be pulled in multiple directions at once. The Astro Chimp has the loyal ability. The loyal ability means that if you're going to influence the chimp, then you're going to have to bid up the previous influencer, and the previous influencer gets their cubes back. So if Jess had a cube on the Astro Chimp, and then Tony wanted to come in and influence the Astro Chimp, he could not just place 1 cube. He has to place more cubes than were there, and Jess would get her cube back. And then on her influence phase, she could come back with 3 or something, and if she wanted to. But the point is that the Astro Chimp, unlike the medical robot, is only going to serve 1 master at a time. It's a single-minded, loyal character, and will not be able to be influenced by multiple players all at the same time. All right, so that's the influence phase. The next phase is activation. So I'm going to put my cubes back out here into the world. So after your influence phase, during your turn, you'll decide whether to activate or whether to renegotiate. Now, if you renegotiate, all that means is you're really passing your turn, but you get to return 1 of your cubes from play. So you get to take 1 of your cubes back. So if you're low on cubes, or if it's near the end of the game and you don't have much to do and you might need those cubes because they're a potential tiebreaker, you can renegotiate. Or far more common thing to do is to activate a character. And that means just take your disc with the big A on it, put it in the upper right portion of one of the characters that you have at least tied for the most cubes on, and at least one cube on, and do an action with that character. So if I placed it on the Daredevil, I could do an action with the Daredevil. And additionally, anytime you activate a character that has no discs on them, you get a bonus action. So actually, if I were to influence the Daredevil, then place the activation disc, I could do 2 actions with the Daredevil. Daredevil's here in the locker room, and I could do 2 actions. And we'll go through the different actions you can do, but they're going to be fairly self-explanatory. Moving is an action, picking something up is an action, smashing somebody is an action, smashing an item is an action, manufacturing something or triggering your the special ability in your particular section is an action. You know, you want to crush someone with the cargo claw, you got to go there and actually use the little joystick and play your cruel crane game with whoever's outside. These are all different actions in the game. We'll go over those in more detail, but generally you'll be doing 2 actions with a character as long as there wasn't a disc on them already. I'll mention additionally that anytime you activate a character, that character also gets a free pickup or drop an item. So you get 2 actions if there was nothing on there, plus you get a free pickup or drop. That's pretty neat. So let's say the Daredevil might want to pick up one of the items here in the locker room. There's 2 different items here. This is nanogel, which is useful for fixing humans or robots if they have been downed. You just, I don't know, it comes in a spray bottle and you just spritz it on the gunshot wound or something. I've seen this movie. And they'll come back to life. They'll be just fine. There's 2 states in the game, alive and downed. So you flip the token over if they're downed, and we'll put a little X on the character if they are down to show that you can't activate them. You can't activate a character or do actions with a character that's down. There's another item in the game which I'm going to mention now, and we'll talk about in a little more detail, and that's compromat. Compromat are these purple tokens here, and I'm going to grab a compromat from an unused character just so I can show.
If you want to bring it down to the locker room.
Yes, I'll bring it to the locker room. I'm going to place a compromat from an unused character in the locker room, and I'm going to go ahead and flip it over. And the little icon I recognize this as the microbiologist, which is not one of the characters in our particular playthrough. But the point is that right now there's all these purple tokens on the board. And those tokens represent compromising materials, secrets that particular character does not want to get out. So this is for the microbiologist. I don't know what secrets he might have, but the point is that whatever this little folder is it's information that the microbiologist doesn't want to get out, doesn't want sent to his mom or whatever. And this item, unlike every other item in the game, was not going to go onto a character. So let's say the Daredevil picked it up. Well, you don't put it over here. If you put the nanogel, if they picked up the nanogel, you put it right on their character card to show that they have the nanogel. When you pick up compromat as a player with a character, you will get the compromat, the player. So you will take it into your hand, and you will be able to use this token in this turn or in future turns to perform a single action with the microbiologist, regardless of cubes, regardless of anything. You've got a one-shot ticket to get something out of the microbiologist, to blackmail them into doing something for you, and compromat can be very useful, very powerful when used at the exact right time to accomplish surprise moves in the game by characters that, if you had dumped 4 cubes on the chimp And then all of a sudden you're like, well, the chimp is the most loyal, most loyal guy. He's carrying, my shiny artifact, or he's carrying a gun for me, or whatever it is, whatever item I care about. And then all of a sudden somebody blackmails him by playing the chimp compromat. And now all of a sudden the chimp took your shiny artifact and threw it out into space or something. That's would be surprising for Team Blue. All because the chimp was caught on video eating green bananas or something. So whatever's embarrassing for chimps. I mean, you really have to think hard to find something
scandalous
for the chimp, I suppose.
Right.
Okay, so that's how compromat works. I was going through the sequence of play, and we talked about revealing, we talked about influencing, we talked about activating. So remember, when activating, that if a character already has a disc on them, so let's say I decide on my next turn to influence the counselor and activate the counselor as Team Pink here, but I can do this. This is fine. I've got tied for the most cubes, perfectly valid character to target, but they already have a disc on them.
Wah, wah.
And because they already have a disc on them, you will only get to perform one action with them. You do still get to perform the free pickup or drop, but you only get one action with them. And this is the same thing. Let's say at the start of my turn, I did this. Last turn, I activated the Daredevil and did some Daredevilish things. This turn, if I activate the Daredevil, there's already a disc on them. It's my disc, but there's already a disc on them. That means I will only get the one action plus the free
So
pickup
you
or
can
drop.
reactivate the same character, just less effective.
Exactly.
Okay.
The rules of the game encourage diversifying your conspiracy. From a pure action economy, this is not a Euro game in any traditional sense, but from a pure action economy standpoint, it's far more efficient to suborn or influence a character that has not been activated, and then activate that character and get two actions with them rather than one action with somebody who's already been activated. But of course, everybody else is activating characters in the same play space. So everyone will be competing over who gets to activate who. And sometimes the character, sometimes you'll stall, you'll wait. You'll be like, well, I could activate the engineer to do my nefarious bidding now. But if I wait a turn, then I'll get to do two nefarious things with the engineer. But somebody else comes in the meantime. It can be calculated risks abound in this game. So that's how activation works. That's how actions work. There's lots of different abilities which affect actions or allow you to use your free pickup drop for other purposes. So, but these are generally self-explanatory, but the hacker is one example. This allows you to do a free console action instead of a free pickup or drop. Sometimes you'll get just straight free actions. For example, the emergency response for medical takes no actions to step into sections where there's a downed human. So if there's a patient, if there's someone who needs medical assistance, then Johnny Medical will be right on the spot. He'll be there as quick as he can. He's a little bit slower when there's not an emergency. But
we've watched
so those
Grey's
are just-
Anatomy. We see how that works.
Yeah.
That's right. Exactly. There's always some drama medical will find. But all right. So that's how activation works. And that's really, I've really explained the majority of the high level rules in the game. We're going to be secret identities. You're going to be playing in a shared space of characters and bidding sort of on these characters using your influence cubes, activating them to try to accomplish whatever your secret, I say secret, but of course everyone can see what the goals are. You're trying to accomplish something and score points with that, including your bonus card if you can manage it. You are going to be trying to be as efficient as possible with your actions. I should mention this is somewhat important because the whole game is on a timer. As I mentioned, the station is re-entering. Only the players are aware that it's re-entering, so not everyone on board knows that there's even a problem. Most people are just going about doing their business and answering their emails, or the boss wants me to print a gun at the print shop. I don't understand why. What's the hurry? What's going on? The game assumes pretty much that nobody knows what's going on except for the players who know that the station is about to re-enter, and so we're trying to accomplish their tasks, whatever those tasks are. Now, many tasks involve the player's character surviving. Most humans, not all, but most humans like living and want to see another day. And so most want to escape the station and survive. However, there are some who care about things larger than themselves. And there's actually quite a few I can see in this particular playthrough. So, for example, the station chief wants humans to survive, but wants to go down herself. She wants to go down with the ship. She doesn't want to survive. She wants to be a martyr. The engineer cares more about the Earth's ecosystem than his own survival. He desperately wants the station's self-destruct or the antimatter to detonate on board and annihilate all these weird artifacts and germs and whatever else might be loose. And so you can see that on his victory conditions. But many of the victory conditions are going to be, hey, try to do this thing, but also try to survive. So I want to talk about survival in the game because we've got the timer. The timer is going to be ticking down for a 4-player game. It's variable turns, but for a 4-player game, we're going to have approximately 13 turns, maybe one extra at the end. There's a 1 in 3 chance that we'll get one extra turn at the end. And if you want to live, if you care about living, then the best way to do it is to try to escape in one of the station's escape pods. And they're all at the top of the station. I say all, but all the default pods, the normal pods are all at the top of the station. And they're these 4 things here. Now, what needs to happen to actually get out of here? Well, generally, an escape pod needs abandoned ship to be triggered. So at some point, someone has to actually press an alarm or something that actually indicates that, hey, there's a problem and everyone should get off the station. It will happen automatically on the last turn of the game, but that's cutting it extremely close.
Yeah, it is.
Care about surviving. It's probable that you maybe want to find a way to get abandoned ship to trigger. Now, the station is an intricate place. There's generally lots of ways to accomplish just about everything. It's part of the experience of the game is trying to explore all the different ways to accomplish different things. But getting abandoned ship to trigger is one of the most diverse. So there's simple ways. You could go to the bridge, which is down here, with an officer. Officers or anyone with this little marker on their character. I see the counselor is an officer. I see the engineer is an officer. And of course, the station chief, definitely an officer. Officer could go to the bridge and do one of these section actions. And in your concise rules, we could look these up, but I can tell you that the bypass section action is releasing the horrible beast. Maybe it's a beast. Maybe there's I think 8 of these things, and it's releasing the horrible experiment on board, which is one way to trigger abandoned ship. Because believe it or not, I haven't really talked about Project X yet, but the premise of the game is that there's all sorts of awful things happening on board, and it's secret what it is. There's 8 Project X's. One random one has been placed here. The whatever that project is, I think it's about 50-50 being monsters of some sort that will, smash their way out and try to eat people. There's other surprises in there too. But the point is that if you release it, whatever it is, that will trigger abandoned ship. You could also, from here, set the self-destruct of the station, which means arm the antimatter. which will trigger abandoned ship. You could also, instead of dooming everyone on board to a fiery or horrific death, you could also just press the big red button that says abandoned ship. That's also allowed up there. And that will trigger abandoned ship and allow the pods to be launched. Finally, from the bridge, you can actually launch pods that are occupied. So you can remote launch pods from up here, which is useful. But first, abandoned ship has to be triggered. All right, so step one, abandoned ship has to be triggered. That's one way to do it. Once again, if the project is released, then abandoned ship gets triggered. So what are other ways to release the project? Well, an officer from the cryo lab can do the bypass action, which will release Project X. Also, if you just damage the vault, if you go find a way to get through the lock here, and smash it or throw a firebomb in it or do something to damage the cage holding this thing back, well, that will also release it and trigger abandoned ship. There's also power on board. The station we have a little power track down here in the furthest bottom left. The station starts at normal power. Everything's fine. Everything's a-okay. All systems green. However, as certain sections are damaged, of which there's 3, the mainframe, the fuel cells, and the reactor, if those become damaged, then we'll lower the power status of the station. If you get to blackout, which means at least 2 of them are damaged, then a whole bunch of horrible things happen, which you can read here, including the release of Project X. But also abandoned ship is declared, so you can launch those pods. So the normal pods are an option if you can reliably get abandoned ship triggered, or if you have a buddy who can help you out, who's willing to stay behind. The aft airlocks have the section launch ability, which allows them to immediately fire off one of these pods. So you could just wait for the last turn of the game, get into one of these pods, and have somebody else press the button for you and launch you immediately, and you'll escape. Whoever pressed the button gets left behind, and it's going to get really hot in the station really fast. But sacrifices got to be made in this game sometimes. All right, so those are the basic default ways of escaping the station. However, as I mentioned, every character in the game may modify the game in some way, and we have looks like 3 characters who modify the manner of escape in the game right now. One of them is the inspector. So the health inspector is here. The health inspector has docked their little shuttle. The fancy thing about the shuttle is that abandoned ship's not required to launch, right? This is a taxi or something, but you are going to need to hot wire it with jury rig or have a badge. So the badge ability the inspector has, anyone with jury rig could hot wire it. So the inspector shuttle is ready to go. And as long as you have the correct ability, then you can launch the inspector shuttle, and you don't need abandoned ship or loss of power or any of those fancy horrible things that might happen to get abandoned ship to trigger. You can do it immediately. The second thing I notice is the medevac pod is in the game because the station chief is in the game. This is a neat pod. To launch it, you don't need abandoned ship. However, there has to be a downed human inside. So there's got to be a patient inside. Somebody who's downed has to be in the pod for the pod to say, yes, scanning. Okay, this qualifies as an emergency. I suppose we'll launch the pod. So that's nifty. You can do it without the abandoned ship. The last way is because the Daredevil is in the game, there is the rocket wings are in the game. And so there is let's call it an experimental jet pack, rocket pack with atmospheric wings and a lot of ablative shielding or something. And it's probably covered in Red Bull logos. And it can be used by any character to go straight from EVA, so straight from outside the station, which I'll discuss briefly in a moment, straight to the atmosphere, straight to the mesosphere. That's the whole goal. If you're trying to live, you're trying to get to the mesosphere, you're trying to get out of here, you're trying to escape. And so instead of going down with the ship, you could just fly down to Earth in style, set some records and stuff like that. That's using the rocket wings that are here in the print shop. Now, the rocket wings are only in your playthrough if the Daredevil's in your playthrough. And the Medivac pod is only in your playthrough if the Station Chief is in your playthrough. So the game has variable setup depending on the particular set of characters that you've got. Now, the rocket wings can be used by anybody. It's not only the Daredevil. But you'll notice the Daredevil has some abilities that make it a little more conducive to using it. But that's the primary ways that I see in our playthrough of actually trying to escape if you care about escaping. I mentioned that I was going to talk about EVA. EVA just stands for all the space outside the station. So if you're walking around the outside of the station, you're floating around outside the station, or if you're doing what the monkey's doing in or the chimp, I should say, is doing on the cover, and taking a wild ride outside, that is EVA. And EVA is accessible through any airlock. Airlocks are these green arrows.
Where it says EVA.
The aft airlocks and the forward airlock both have EVA access. You can also, in a pinch, you can jump out EVA from the exhausts, the aft and the forward exhaust. You can't climb in that way. You can only jump out. I think that covers it for the EVAs that we have right now. So if you want to go EVA, there's nothing special about EVA, except I guess I should mention that it turns out the EVA is a vacuum and is not recommended that humans try it without wearing a helmet. So helmets are an item in the game. They are an important item in the game. They will protect humans from hazards. Hazards include fire, hazards include gas, hazards include vacuum. So if you want to go take a ride outside, you're going to need a helmet to do so. If you want to go take those rocket wings for a test flight, you're going to need a helmet if you're a human. If you're a robot, then breathing is not something you're into anyways. You don't need the helmet. Helmets will protect humans and only humans from hazards. Helmets will also protect humans and only humans from being smashed over the head with a bludgeon. So the primary attack in the game is using one of these tools, which is going to be renamed to bludgeon, to hit or down a particular character. That's one of the actions you can do in the game. And you can see the different locations where if you go to the machine shop, you can get yourself a hammer, or you go to the storage, you can find something sufficiently heavy to smash someone with. And if you're really in a bind, you can go print a new one at the 3D print shop. Okay, I think we've covered. Obviously, there's no way I can cover all the intricacies in the game. There's lots of different sections that have different section actions in them. And you should be able to go through and take a look in the concise rules. We'll give a description starting with page 9, it looks like, of what the different section actions are. And how they work. I'm gonna obviously, while I'm playing, I'm gonna be trying to help people interact with the map. And with the actions. I'm gonna go ahead and create our identity deck here.
I think that's pretty good. I think so. I mean, sure, we haven't covered the stuff towards the bottom of the board really, as far as the cameras, the offsites, and the console actions, but I don't know that that's gonna be super important until it is, right?
What I'm gonna do, Edward, I think that's a good point. I'm gonna deal out the identity cards now, and then I'm going to discuss all the sort of things that maybe you care about, and that may include those things, and it may not, but at least you'll have some idea of where they are and what they're up to. Okay, so you've got now, hopefully, if I've done this correctly, you've got 2 identity cards in your hand.
I have 2.
And now is the time when you're going
Tony?
to be making that decision
All good.
Okay.
about
Oh, good.
which character or identity card in your hand you want to be your secret identity and which you want to be your bonus card. And you're going to rotate your bonus card. But before we do that, I'm going to give an introduction to each of the characters since there's only 12 of them.
Yeah. All right. Why don't we go through it, and that'll actually make everybody's job easier. Plus, it makes mine easier for who it is that I might be. So yeah, go for it.
There you go. The troubleshooter is we talked about is a robo-populist troubleshooter. Starts in the print shop. They want NPCs to escape, period. So they want non-players to escape, but they also especially want robot NPCs to escape if at all possible. And they also want to escape themselves. The stranger starts in the nano factory, and the stranger really cares about their bonus card. So you'll see they don't want to reveal their identity if at all possible. They want to be strange, I guess. They also
Doors fan.
get bonus points for scoring bonus points. They really, it's personal. They're really good friends with whatever that bonus card is, or they really hate their bonus grudge. Whatever it is, they get 2 additional points if they score their bonus points. They also get 2 additional points if they're co-located with their bonus characters at Stationfall, period, full stop. So that means in a pod with your best pal, flying high back to Earth, feeling safe, feeling happy, or standing over your victim as they bleed out in some distant part as the whole station comes apart around you. Safe in your knowledge that you finished the task and took them out.
That got dark quick.
Yeah, well, Stationfall allows for a lot of interpretation. It all depends on whether that bonus card is a friend or a grudge. All right, the stowaway. All right, the stowaway is an interesting character. The stowaway actually doesn't start on the map. So if you ever activate the stowaway, the first action you're going to take is going to be to place the stowaway on the map in any dark section. You can see what a dark section looks like. They're fairly noticeable. They're real dark.
They're dark.
But step 1 is to place them there. First action. So we don't know where the stowaway is on board. If the stowaway is a player, and once again, these victory conditions only count if they're a player, right? So the stranger's on board, but the stranger only cares about bonus cards if the stranger is a player, if they ultimately are revealed to be a player. The stowaway, if they're revealed to be a player, is some sort of reporter, and they want the news to get the data in the game. I'll talk about data now because it's important probably for a number of victory conditions, but data is like an item, except that every time you do something with it, every time you copy it or duplicate it or give it to somebody, you're going to create a new copy. So data is a diamond-shaped marker. So let's say the stowaway got the X secret, which is secret information about what this project X is. If they did this, they would have had to download it in the biolab here.
Help me out. Where's the biolab again?
Biolab is
Thank you. Right there. Got it.
forward.
Yep. Got it.
And you can see manufacture the X secret data is one of the section action that you can do here. So if the stowaway did that, one of the actions you can perform in the game is to copy data. And let's say the stowaway was here in the chem lab hanging out with the health inspector. What's going on? No safety violations here, officer. They could do a copy action and just give an additional copy to the inspector. So in other words, anytime you give data with a particular character, then you're going to create a new copy. Now they both have it. Okay, the original doesn't get deleted. Also mention that it doesn't take up an item spot. And if the jammers are off and the jammers start the game on, but if the jammers get turned off, which I'll explain in a moment, then as your copy action, you can actually copy it to any character in the game, any character on board, I should say. So you could send it to the Daredevil, you could send it to the Cyborg, you could send it to anybody. If the jammers are off, you can just, I don't know, send it as an email attachment or something to anyone on board. And these rules that I'm mentioning count for all data in the game. And there's only 2 types of data in our particular playthrough, it looks like. That's going to be the X secret, which is manufactured here in the biolab. And that's also the evidence. Now, the evidence is going to be manufactured in the security station. Let's see here. This is a type of data that's manufactured there and can be shared just like any of the other data in the game. However, I can see the stowaway cares about the news, getting the X secret, getting the evidence. The evidence is like videotapes of all the things that have happened on board. And also the stowaway wants to escape, wants to survive. And also they really would love it if they got a scoop, if they escape with the evidence and no other character does. Would be great for a undercover reporter trying to uncover the crimes of the corporation running this place. So that's the stowaway. If they're a player, then they care about those things. Now, I mentioned the news because the news is one of the offsites in the game. There's 2 offsites. There's 2 places sort of not on the station that you can send data. And you can do that from the array. There's a sort of a communications array. And so let's say the stowaway is not going to make it. Yeah, the station's about to go down. They can get to the array and they can maybe beam the data off or have one of their conspirators beam the data off, probably more likely. Send it to the news. Somebody must know the horrible crimes that happened here, and they'll still score some points. Now, I want to talk about the points here. You'll notice that some of these are just, hey, straight 2 points for if the news ends with the X secret. Great. This has a +3 on it. The pluses mean that you have to accomplish the first thing, the thing directly above it first. So you get an additional 3 if you escape with this, but this means anytime there's a plus, you will not score those points unless you've also accomplished whatever is above it. All right. Moving on to the station chief. The station chief has victory conditions basically about trying to get humans to survive. The station chief wants other humans to survive. They would also like NPC officers to escape if at all possible. They also want to be on board and live at Stationfall. So in other words, they want to be, they don't necessarily have to be standing on the bridge, but they want to be standing by a window and riding the station into the into its fiery doom, just like any good martyred captain. Go down with the ship.
Yep.
All right. The medical robot. Now the medical robot, this is really one of the only, I think it is the only victory condition where we actually have a marker where we're actually going to be scoring points for the medical robot, even if nobody is playing as them, just because we have to keep track of it. So the medical robot's going to get 2 points if there's no downed humans on board at Stationfall. Okay, makes sense. They'll also get 1 point for every time they revive a human. So regardless of the circumstances, regardless of what's going on, if the medical robot revives a human, we're going to move their little thing over. And later, if they reveal to be a player, then the player is going to score points for that. They will also score a point. We'll move the little token over for every cube moved to betrayal upon medical's reveal. So if medical backstabs a bunch of people, then they'll get,
Nice.
Glorious.
All right. The inspector. The inspector is, once again, if they are a player, they are dirty. They're taking money under the table. And what they really want here is A, to survive, escape. Number 1, priority. However, if at all possible, they'll score bonus points for possessing the briefcase. The briefcase is an item. It starts in the suite. It's here in the suite. It's in the aft ring. So if you care about the briefcase, that's where you will find it. It will also get a point if the authorities end with the evidence. So if the authorities get the evidence at the end of the game. +2 if the news doesn't get the evidence, basically. I'll also mention that the inspector will score double for bribes on the inspector's card. I haven't talked about bribes yet, but I will. Okay, that's the inspector. Moving on to the engineer. The engineer wants the antimatter to detonate on board before Stationfall. So that's a 4-turn timer. So when the antimatter is armed, there's 4 turns for it to go off, and they really need the antimatter to be on board when it goes off. The antimatter is locked up in a chamber full of gas behind a lock here in magnetic containment. However, if the antimatter is ever removed from magnetic containment, it will immediately arm. That's how you arm the antimatter. Alternatively, you could get an officer, including an engineer, to go activate the self-destruct. That will also immediately arm the antimatter wherever it is. If the antimatter blows up and sterilizes all the horrors on board before it crashes into Earth's atmosphere, then hey, more power to them. Desperately also does not want any contaminated characters to escape. Now, in our particular game, no characters start contaminated. However, any character that enters the biolab will become contaminated immediately, and we'll take a little contamination marker, and it's going to fill up one of their item slots. So it's going to be slightly debilitating. But more importantly, the engineer is going to really want to make sure that that character, whoever it is, doesn't escape. Once again, assuming the engineer is a player. Engineer also wants to make sure the artifact doesn't escape. The artifact is here in the physics lab. The engineer can also would like to be innocent if possible, but can still win if guilty. I haven't talked about innocence and guilt yet. However, I'll just mention that if you go around murdering humans while the security cameras are on in lit areas, then that could be viewed as suspicious in some cultures. And that could result in you becoming guilty as a player if the evidence goes to the authorities. If that happens, you may not win unless your victory conditions say otherwise. So the engineer can do horrible crimes in the name of saving the Earth, but would prefer to be viewed as as innocent at the end of the game if possible. All right, the exile. This is like an exiled spy. The exile is going to A, under all circumstances, because all his victory points are pluses except for his top one, wants to escape, must escape to score any points to the exile. 2, really wants to escape with compromat of surviving characters. So in other words, wants to be able to blackmail them later and get back into the spy realm or something like that. So he really wants to have compromat of characters. So picking up compromat is going to be important, but also making sure that the characters that you have compromat for survive, because that's how you score points. Having an embarrassing photo of the monkey isn't useful if the monkey is incinerated dust, right? Also, the exile would like to have the evidence if the news doesn't have the evidence. So that could be leverage as well. The daredevil is trying to escape, would prefer, if at all possible, to be the only human that escapes because that's super rad. And also would like to have something to remember this whole trip by. So a trinket like the artifact or an interesting new disease being contaminated, something like that will give bonus points to the daredevil if they survive. They also would like the horrible project to be released because that makes the story a little bit cooler. They're just really looking for a cool story. All right, the cyborg is a human and a robot. Now, if the cyborg is a player, then the cyborg is out for revenge against all the characters that have caused his modifications, let's say. And so he will score points for every officer that's down at Stationfall. And bonus points.
We said there are 3 of them, right? I believe.
There's 3.
Yep.
In our playthrough, there's 3 officers. And bonus points if any of them are PCs. Also wants to make sure the horrible disease doesn't reach the Earth. Also wants to try to light at least one fire on the station. And the cyborg can win even if guilty. All right. The counselor. The counselor is obsessed, once again, if they're a player, they are obsessed with the artifact. They want to survive. They want the artifact to survive. Reminder, the artifact's in the physics lab. And they would really like the artifact to survive in the possession of the counselor or the counselor's conspirator. Last is the chimp. The chimp just wants shiny things. Once again, wants to live, wants to have the briefcase if possible. That's in the suite. Wants the artifact if possible. That's in the physics lab, or a gun. Whatever. Gun is also shiny. You have to find a gun. Now, not a lot of guns on board. Looking through our setup, some of the characters that start with guns aren't around. If you want to get a gun, and you are choosing to be the chimp, then the only way that I see to get a gun is going to be to get an officer to the print shop, and the officer in a print shop can manufacture a gun.
There you go. It says so right there. Yep.
That's how you would go about doing that. So,
but anybody else, any character can create a helmet or a weapon, right?
Yes.
Just not a gun specifically.
Exactly. All right. Right now, you should be making a decision as to which of the characters you would like to be.
I've already made my decision. So for those watching at home, hopefully Jess, I know Jess has access to the stream right now, so don't look at that, Jess. No, as you do. So there you go. Those are my two options. There's that one, and there is that one. So it's E to roll it around, right? Is that to...
E? Yes, E will rotate your card in your hand.
There we go.
By whatever your percentage is.
So the face-up one is the one that I am attempting to do, but I am not committed to that. But if I do, then I'm going to lose the bonus card. So there you go.
Gotcha. Yes, that's all. That is all 100% correct.
Okay. So just for everybody at home, there you go. So to answer your question, or somebody asked here in chat, does the counselor get 5 points if the artifact gets on Earth? No. The counselor will get 3 points if the artifact survives. So 3 points for that. 5 points if the counselor survives and the artifact survives. And it would be a total of 8 points if the artifact survives, the counselor survives, and the artifact is in possession of the counselor or the counselor's conspirator. And define conspirator again, would you, Matt?
Conspirator is minimum of 1 cube and at least tied for the most.
There you go. All right. I am excited.
I think we are ready to start.
Obviously,
there's anytime you're playing this game for the first time, it's going to be a learning experience. But I have some degree of confidence that we're going to be okay. Step 1: rotate a card in your hand to make it a bonus card. Has everybody done that?
Check.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Jess, who did you choose?
Right.
You got to try it, right? You got to try it.
I chose the winner.
There you go. So how do we?
Thing is, she's probably right.
Right.
So we can go ahead and start the game. We can put. I think I can put up turns in the.
Up top.
Yeah, up top, and
Tony, don't flip
there
the
we
table.
go. So yeah, try to hold back your rage, Tony. Your well-known and well-documented rage issues, and.
No, I'm not going to do it first turn, right?
And Edward, it looks like you are going first. So
okay, yeah, you can see that I am the first player there, and it's clockwise from there, right?
I don't. Yes, yes.
We'll
exactly.
find
Clockwise
out.
from there.
Okay.
Maybe TTS did that on purpose. I'm not super familiar with it, but the point is, the first thing you're going to make the decision as to whether to reveal.
I like not to reveal.
Are you sure?
I am fairly confident in that. All right, so let's again. Now that we're beginning, we can see there are a total of 12 characters. 11 of them start on the board, right? So we have one station chief, the counselor, medical, that's 3, the astro chimp 4, troubleshooter 5, inspector 6, Cyborg 7, Stranger 8, Daredevil 9, Stowaway is off board 10.
I think you may have skipped the Exile and the Engineer.
There they are,
hiding out
11
in,
and 12. There we go. Cool. All right, so that's where everything is. And remember, they're all unrevealed, so I can influence, i.e. control, any one of them that I want.
That's
So
right.
we take a look what it is that we're trying to do. So there's that.
We have to declare ourselves innocent too.
Yes, everyone should go ahead and place a little their little marker here, just to show that for now, for a brief moment, nobody has committed any horrible crimes
That anyone knows about.
Tony won't be there long. I'm just
So
saying.
No, I won't. No, you're
for everybody at home,
100% correct.
place
Now,
your bets on who you
if at
think
any-
wins.
If at any time you cause a human to become downed in a lit section while the cameras are on, we will upgrade you. You get an upgrade to first class, also called suspect status. Being a suspect is fine. Being a suspect is no big deal. However, if you're a suspect and the evidence gets transmitted to the authorities, via this array here, if somebody gets the evidence and sends it to the authorities, we will upgrade you one more to guilty, and guilty means you cannot win the game.
And is there any way to undo guilty?
There is. If your PC escapes with the evidence themselves,
Yeah.
then you can go testify against all the other guys or something like that, and we
Yeah.
will move you back down to suspect status. So
Because
you
you
will not
ran
be
away with the
eliminated.
evidence. That's awesome.
So if you deliver the evidence to the authorities at the end of the game, you can make up for all the mischief that you committed on board.
All
I'll
right.
mention that the only mischief, there's two, but the primary crime on board is murdering humans on camera. That's
With a wrench. Yep.
that's going to do it.
So last question off the top of my head. When
Yes.
you transmit up here at the array, do you
Yes.
choose whether you're transmitting to the news or the authorities?
Correct.
Okay.
You will choose one of those two locations to receive it. I'll also mention that if you escape with data, whatever the data is, you can copy it to one or both of the offsites. So if you, as a PC, yourself, revealed character, has evidence or has the X secret, you can just after you get home, just send it, put it in a manila envelope with no return address and send it to the news or the cops, whatever.
By the way,
If you
Scott
want to.
just had the line of the day. Being a suspect is fine. Signed, Matt Eklund, lawyer.
Scott, I was hoping we'd get some better admissions during the course of this. This is all an elaborate sting.
Okay, so real
It's early
quick,
days.
and this is going to help everybody not named Matt during the playing. The main thing that I'm looking at now that I know what my goals are, right, is looking at what the available actions are for the different characters, right?
Yes.
So
Now, I'll
through.
additionally mention that your identity card has tips on it. It shows your victory conditions that you can look at, and also shows your reveal powers, but it also will indicate some tips about how to go about accomplishing your task.
Will you zoom in on that? Just see. I see
Alt.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yay.
Okay. All right. So there's that. All right. So let's see. Okay. Good. What I'm doing is I'm reading these real quick, so everybody
Sure.
at home can take a look as well while I'm doing that, and everybody else can do their own thing. And let's see. And let me go back, and I want to zoom in for everybody on this as well. So sequence of play. So reveal, I'm choosing not to. I'm going to place an influence cube, then I'm going to activate the character that I do go ahead and influence, because that's basically my turn. And then at that point, can do one of the available actions. Also, the other thing, Matt, that we haven't covered is bribes.
Yes, good point. I'll briefly mention bribes right now. Everyone
Sure.
all the players start with a bribe token. It's the B token on your
Right there. Yep.
of your color. And during your turn, I talked about compromat. You can use a compromising material to blackmail someone into doing something. But you additionally start with a bribe, which you can play on a character to get them to do a single action of your choosing in addition to your turn. So this doesn't take up your turn. This is in addition to your turn during your activation phase. You can bribe somebody to do something.
So it's like a free compromat, kind of.
It
right?
is. It's kind of like a wild card compromat. In fact, it used to be called that. But the point is that if you don't spend it, then it's worth a point to you at the end of the game. And if you do spend it, it's worth a point to that character if they're a player. So if someone reveals as the counselor, then they got bribed. They got to cash in on that, and they will get that point for later. Some characters, like the inspector, will actually score double for bribes that are on them. So before bribing the inspector, think it through. Now, the last thing I'll mention, because I think I skipped this, talking about the characters. I talked about a lot of the aspects of the characters, but I didn't mention this little number in the cube, the white cube.
Right there.
That is your influence limit. So I mentioned that you have 8 cubes that you can go do stuff with. However, at the end of the game, if you've used more of those cubes than you have that limit, so if you've exceeded your influence limit, you will lose 1 point per cube over you go. So some
4
characters,
to 6, it looks like, for all these characters.
Yeah, for these characters, and that's a fairly general mainstay, although some of the other characters have more or less. But you're going to not want to necessarily budget for all 8 of your cubes, or if you do, you're going to want to try to spend late game turns maybe to try to renegotiate and get some of those cubes back right before scoring. But I should mention that now, since you're deciding who to influence and how many cubes to drop on them. If you have questions about any of the actions.
I was going to ask where, they're there, I found them, the actions. So these are I'm showing everybody at home, it's on page 9 of the concise rules. So
they start on page 8, actually. Yes.
Check that, 8. Basic actions. Step, that's move 1 spot.
Yep.
Basically. Pick up an item, although we do get a free pickup or drop off in addition to a normal action. Drop, which is literally just drop whatever you're carrying, one thing if you want. Give to a co-located character. Throw. So what's the difference between give and throw then? It's adjacent, right?
Yeah, you'll actually throw it from one section to another.
Saves you a move, basically.
That's right. I'll just mention that you're not allowed to throw things in the direction of the spinward arrow if you're in the ring, is the rule as it currently reads, although it's under development, due to physics.
All right, yeah. Copy, which we've already covered that. Delete a type of data from their
Only
player
PCs may do that. I should note that.
Fair point. Which means they have to have been revealed?
The definition of PC is a revealed player.
Well, there you go. Attack, rob, so steal something, sabotage, revive, or just wait. All right. So I am going to go ahead and place 1 influence cube over here onto the engineer. Okay. Then I am going to activate said engineer. All right. So the engineer is the little kind of gear icon. The gear icon is right there in the array control. And you'll notice, so where can I move from here, you might be asking? I'm in the hub here in the array control. I could either move, if I wish, up to this, which is the aft hub, just moving that over a little so folks can read it there.
Sure.
Or I can move to the forward hub. Those are my 2 options from there. And then from there, follow the other ones. So what I am going to do, though, is I'm going to take as action, and I should point out, because there's no other activation marker on that, I get, count them, 2 actions and a pickup or drop off if I so desire. Action 1, we're going to move. I guess technically step is the term, but move. You get it. So going to move 1 step into the forward hub. That is action numero uno. Action numero doso. Now, from here, I probably ought to point out, I could move to the physics lab. I could, for whatever reason, move back to the array control. I can then, from there, could move all the way down to the tanks, I believe.
Yep.
Okay. Then I could move to the biolab, or not then, but or into the biolab. I can move over to the nano factory.
Yes.
Let's see, is that it? No, and back to the AF hub as well, if I wanted. I think that's it. Right?
From the forward hub, yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
All right, so action number 2. We're going to mosey on over to the physics lab, and we're going to pick up the artifact.
So I will take or you can take the artifact
Yep.
and place it into the
there we go.
engineer's
That is now in the engineer's possession. That is 2 actions and a free pickup. That is me. And I will hit that. So it is not in clockwise order because, Matt, it's your
Oh,
turn.
no.
And somebody's asking,
All
should
right.
there be a complement in the array control?
This is ghosted out. It's gray to show, because the number of characters in the game is variable. And
Right.
There's some compromat locations you do not use at this count. Okay, I'm going to suborn.
That is such a fancy word, by the way.
It is. I learned it in this game.
I said suborn's the wrong word. That's been
It's
replaced.
activate.
It's
You're
been
gonna
replaced by
activate.
activate. Yes, I'm influencing is the right word. You'll never believe this, Edward, but people have commented on my previous designs and that they use too flowery of language that is makes my games inaccessible.
I'm
And so
shocked.
We've made a better effort to after using industry lingo in PAX Trains Humanity, we've moved away from that here. So I'm going to take the inspector. I'm going to use a free pickup drop to go ahead and pick up the compromat that's here.
Why did I not? I forgot about that. Damn it. All right.
What did you forget about? Say.
Yes.
And I'm actually going to influence the inspector with 2 cubes. And
Ooh,
I'm going
wanna keep
to
control.
manufacture a fire bomb. And I'm going to
Seems-
move to the biolab and become contaminated.
Wow.
That's a turn. That is a turn right there.
All right.
Welcome
Wow.
to the game, Matt.
Yeah,
All right.
that's fantastic.
And I am
job.
done.
And
are
how
done.
how did you take the compliment? What button is that? I forget.
The number
One.
one.
That's right. Mouse over it and take it. Yep, got it.
All
All right, J-Rex.
I don't know the fancy thing, so I'm just going to move my stuff over.
You're fine.
For buttons, let's see. Nothing special there. I'm interested in compromat, so.
Yeah, and you should be. In hindsight, that's what I should have done.
Right? Get the compromat. Potential extra actions later
Correct.
seems good. Well, all right. So this
Who are you influencing?
question mark person is next to some compromat, so that seems good. All right. So I'm influencing the stranger. Fine.
Right there. And by the way, for those watching at home, they have this is automated. It's not perfect yet, but to where if you hit their symbol, it'll zoom in to wherever they are. And in theory, if you hit the little cube button on there, it will add a cube onto that spot. It's not 100%, but just that's pretty cool nonetheless. So
It's
here,
very good scripting.
if I hit that there, boom, where's the stranger? Stranger's right there. There they are.
So I brought over my A. There we go. Oh, and what's their thing? May always perform actions as if they had no A on them. Well, it didn't anyway, but okay. So I get 2 actions with this person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pick this up.
Hit 1.
Oh, just 1. Okay.
Yeah.
You just said that. 1.
There we go.
Done. Ooh, it's there. Okay.
And the compromat will always be one of the characters, correct? That's in our game, correct, Matt?
The compromat will always be one. Yes, the compromat tokens will always line up. The compromat tokens are only added to the game based on the characters that are chosen for your playthrough.
Yeah. All right. So now I can move into the forward hub.
Yep.
Yes.
So that's one of your 2 actions.
Correct.
Oh, because the pickup was free.
Correct.
Okay. There's nothing in there, so I could move again.
Or yes, or do anything that's on page 8/9 down in your on the concise rules.
That's a lot.
Oh, and Andy says scripting is courtesy of Psychomon. Did an amazing job. It's really impressive. Y'all ought to watch when it sets up. It's pretty cool.
They don't have a weapon or anything, so there's no attacking happening. There's nobody with me. I don't have anything to throw, so I'm gonna move them again. So maybe
You could come get contaminated in the biolab. There's a musty
that
smell.
so good. That didn't sound so great for me. So I'm gonna go up here. Ooh, there's a robot, medical robot.
Yep.
All right,
right.
there we go.
And that's your second action. You pick something up for free. Done. Hit your little done icon at the top. There we go.
Okay, I have a couple of quick questions.
Of course.
Do you have a limit on how much compromat you can have?
No.
Okay, that's good.
12.
That's compromat.
Don't take these as leading questions in any way, but is there a way to get through locks if you're not an officer?
So there are many ways in the game that you might be able to get through locks. However, in our particular playthrough,
Okay.
we don't have any breachers. We don't have the digital assistant who would happily unlock things for you. So the only way to get through locks is going to be to get abandoned ship to be triggered, which will release all of the
Locks,
all of the locks. Yep. All locks are removed if we do that. You can see.
Okay. So again, these aren't leading questions. They're just things I've picked up from reading all the characters. You have to be an officer to trigger bypass. Is that correct?
Yes, and you can do that from either the cryo lab or the bridge.
Okay. I had one more question. I'm trying to, the life of me, remember what it was. Oh yeah. I noticed because I think I'm going to trigger, I'm going to activate this guy.
Oh, Andy brings up a good point. You can drag a down officer through a lock as well.
That is excellent. Yes, thank you, Andy. That is an excellent point. You put your hand up there, you put their eyeball up to the retinal scanner or whatever.
Yep.
That isn't on the counselor. It was just when you were demonstrating. So I noticed that. So I'm going to activate the Daredevil. Okay. I notice it says on the Daredevil that he or she is not downed by a hazard.
That's right.
Is that anything in a triangular symbol?
Yes. So that would include any gas, fire, or the vacuum of space.
Interesting. Okay. So we've activated the Daredevil anyway. So the Daredevil is
down here in the locker room.
In the locker room, getting changed into their wingsuit. So we'll have a free action of picking up this compromat.
Yep.
Yes. Now, there's a first aid kit there, but you can also grab the folder of incriminating information. It's each their own.
Follow your heart.
So I need to just see what symbol that is. Who have I got stuff on? Interesting. Okay, so then we will move on into here.
Yep, which is now a dark space, so you wouldn't be suspected of injuring anybody, downing someone if it happened in there in a co-located space. No one's there, just pointing that out.
No one's there. But now my options are myriad. So there's a wrench in here. There's helmets kicking about. Daredevil quite likes helmets, but I don't care about the Daredevil. tell you what, let's go down here and just a quick trying to figure out where my okay. I think that is me. That's all I can do anyway, right? So
All right. So back to
I'm going to move
me.
the turn marker. We have approximately 12 turns left.
Okay.
Ah,
So question, when you're picking up items, it goes to the person that you activated. When
Yes.
you're picking up compromat, though, it comes to you.
Nailed it.
That's right.
Because the compromat stays with the player, so you can use it as a bonus thing, right? And Matt,
Yes.
to be clear, you'll notice that here in Airlock McQueen, there are 2 compromats.
yeah.
Yes.
And to get into now, just because you enter the
Pod.
thank you, the pod doesn't mean you got to stay in it. You could just mosey on over there, grab it, and mosey on out, right?
Yes.
Just thought I'd point that out. Okay.
There's going to be a lot of this, isn't there? There's a lot of this. Oh, no reason. Oh, no reason. Not at all.
For no reason, I'd like to know. This thing.
All right. So here, just to save everybody some time here, because I'm looking at this, right? There's obviously a couple compromat up here in McQueen. There's one here in the kitchen with the Astro Champ. And to be clear, the compromat is randomized what is in every location. We know it's one of 12, but just because it's here co-located with the Astro Monkey thing, it doesn't necessarily mean that's
necessarily.
him. Right.
It could be.
Right. There's one over here in the therapy garden, which has a wonderful view, by the way. There. Let's see. So there's one in the rec room, so that's 4. I think y'all have each gotten one, so that's 7. I'm looking. There's one here in the storm shelter, that's 8. There's one down here in the forward airlock, 9, 10, 11, 2 on the bridge, and there's one other that I can't figure out, but there you go. So, okay. Huh. Okay. Yeah, might as well. Okay. So I am going to activate Astro Chimp because already has some stuff over there. Some compromat. So I will go ahead and put 1 or 2. And the reason I'm thinking about maybe putting more is to influence, return all cubes on this card and place 1 more than was previously there. So if I put 2, it requires somebody to put 3 on there. That seems good. And that seems unlikely. But there's still a lot of stuff for other people. I don't think I'm going to waste the cube. So I'm just going to put 1 over there. So
one banana, that's all you get.
Very wise. One orange banana.
All right, so for my free pickup, I will go ahead and pick up the compromat, and you'll notice that I have, and just don't look at this, I have that compromat right there, okay? So we're going to zoom out, and we're going to look at all of these, even though I know who it is, just to be able to match up that symbol. And that's basically going to be a bonus free action or a point, depending on if I use it or not, right? So there, and there we go. All right, so now we have 2 actions with the chimp, and they have Tunnel Rat. So the Astro Chimp, if I wanted, could mosey on into the reactor here.
Yes. That's a very suspicious vent, by the way, that goes from a reactor to a kitchen. But
Nap time.
You know, it happens.
It's time.
So
this place was designed on a budget.
Fair.
You know what? Let me back this up because it's still my turn. I am going to put a second influence cube over there. So I'm going to put 2 on there, which clearly means I want to keep control of Astro Chimp. And gets 2 moves. 1 through the vent here into the reactor. And then here's an interesting conundrum now. I could pick up the, what's that called? Nano jelly?
Yes.
Okay.
Nanogel.
The nanogel, which helps heal, right? If anybody gets downed for a human. Or we could mosey on over here to the aft airlocks. There's a helmet there. There's some more compromat. And I think we're going to pick up the nanogel. And the reason, I'll go ahead, I'm letting the chimp out of the bag a little bit here, is, oh, and I forgot to put my activation marker over there. I apologize. Let me back up. Whoop, that comes over here. So on a subsequent turn, I can activate the Astro Chimp or the Engineer without placing any influence cubes on that step.
No additional, yeah.
Right. But my thinking here is if I keep him there, then nobody, even if they were to place 3 activation cubes there, they would only get 1 action because I have my activation marker there, or influence cube, sorry. Because that, they would only get 1 action. 1 action would be like to move into the aft airlocks. They could not move into McQueen because they only get 1 action. So...
Until you move your activation marker off of it.
that is a fact. So but we're going to go ahead and pick up. Yeah, we'll go ahead and pick that up and bring that over to Astro Chimp. There we go. So that was 2 actions. The second action was to pick that up, and that's me.
All right, I'm going to influence the station chief. I'm going to move to the storage unit and pick up the heaviest item she can find, and then move back to the therapy garden. And everything is A-okay.
So passed up picking up the compromat, really?
Interesting.
So who are you who is that you're trying to bludgeon to death there? That is the counselor. All right. Okay.
I guess that's not me. What is happening?
And Yoon says no point for you unused compromats. So I misspoke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to use them if you can.
Yeah.
Why did you do that,
Yes,
Matt?
I'll just mention
do
the exile. It does score for unused compromats.
Maybe that's
yeah.
where that's probably where I was mistaken. Thank you.
All right.
Oh, Asher brings up a really good point too. The reactor's extra heat is sent to the kitchen to help cook with. Makes total sense.
Oh,
Perfect. The heavy water or whatever reaches a boiling point and steams the kitchen. This is
And the alpha radiation as well, yeah?
Right.
that's right. Microwaves are for wusses.
J-Rex?
question on compromat. So can you use that during your actions?
Yes,
so
you
if
can
have-
only use compromat or bribes during your activation phase.
Right, but anytime during. So I could start, middle, and
Absolutely.
Got it. Okay. So I noticed that the stranger actually has this uncanny ability where I could use him twice,
Correct.
right? Because
Yes.
it's as if my token were not there.
Oh, true. So you get 2 actions regardless, right? With the stranger.
And I don't have to move off of. Remember, I activated him last time, but it doesn't matter because we're pretending like my A token isn't there.
Yep.
Yeah, so you don't have
Yes.
to spend any new cubes.
And I don't have to spend any cubes.
Checks
to
out.
use him. So that seems to work because I can take this stranger and move him over here near the chimp.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
And then I happen to have some compromat that could maybe influence that chimp to hand over to the stranger that little med kit thing that I could use potentially.
All right. So
I
show
have
us the
this.
compromat.
Where do you want me to put it? It's right up here.
All right. Show it. There is the green banana. There it is.
That's the green banana that he ate. He's super embarrassed.
All right. So I will move it over there.
So now the stranger has that.
All right.
Yes.
So that was that move. And now there's nothing else in there. I'm going to move up here. But
Yes.
if the compliment didn't count, can the stranger also pick up this helmet as a free
Yep.
pickup?
Exactly.
Okay. The stranger's got some
Did
stuff.
you hear, Jess? Oh, can he also do that? Oh, then I guess I'll do that. Yeah. All right. Your ruse, ma'am, is not working.
What are you
You walk
talking
up-
about?
You walk up to a poor monkey, persuade it to give you his green banana,
Yes.
and then run off
Yes. And then got a helmet.
for the undoubtedly what's coming next, which is the retaliation from the monkey.
Oh, you know it's coming.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay. That was me. Dupe.
Okay. Okay, and okay again. Who is available for multiple actions here? Matt, did you move the station chief?
I did activate the station chief. My
And-
token, where is my token? It should
Yeah.
be on the station chief. Thank
There
you.
we go.
Cool.
Yep.
Okay.
Good. It's easy to forget that. Again, see, this is where the physical just
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, then. Let's see where people are. So we got...
And remember, you can always click the icon for the given characters,
Yep.
and it will zoom in to it, right?
Yep. So since everyone's hoovering up all the compromat,
Yeah, do that.
And thank you, Andy. To be clear, the Astro Chimp is he, him. The Stranger and Inspector are they and them.
Okay, good.
okay,
All right.
cool. All right. Now,
I'm just following wherever your mouse moves, so
let's see what
I know.
that
Where's he
does.
going? What's he looking
I know. Well, here, I'm just going to zoom out like that for everybody until he does something.
Okay, then. Is that compromat still in
Yeah,
front of the
it's
dog?
still there. Yep.
Still there.
Activate either
Well,
one of those.
It's time to
Influence the old counselor.
influence the
Oops.
counselor.
Sorry. Hold on. That one. There we go.
And we shall...
Can step through a lock. Funny you mentioned that earlier. Just
Yeah,
saying.
it's interesting, isn't it? So I'll free pick up.
Yep.
Okay, that's of interest. And oh, that's
What's the
definitely-
shred room? Pick up compromat from anywhere on the board. What?
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous, isn't it? So, is that data mine action available?
Yes, data mine is a section action. If you have an action to use, you can do it there.
I mean, I've
Free-
got 2 actions to use, right?
Free pickup and drop won't work there. You'll have to use the data mine section action. But yes,
But
that's fine.
could I use the data mine action twice and just hoover up compromat from
You
various places?
could if you have 2 actions. This is in the shred room, which is actually through a lock and is a
It's
different
in-
section.
It's in the dark, but I see.
See,
Yeah, okay,
you're
so
in the therapy garden, which
Gotcha.
is adjacent to the shred room,
So I
Right.
could move into the shred room.
and
because
take a
I'm an officer,
compromat.
and then
Yes.
take a compromat from anywhere.
Right.
Or I
'Cause
can go one,
there.
2. I can do that, which is quite interesting too.
I was going to be really upset if you could do both.
Yeah. So I can hoover around there. How many compромats are you allowed to use in one turn?
1 and your bribe.
Yeah, okay. That makes a valid amount of sense. So we're going to 2 actions from the counselor. I can move over there, take that. I can move in there, take his one compromat. Let's. I mean,
All right, so the lock goes away,
Yes,
yeah.
and
that's one action.
yep.
Yeah, that is one action. And then we will just checking where the rest of the compromat.
There's 2 on the bridge. There's 1 in the forward airlock. There's 1 here in the rec room. There's 2 in McQueen. Help me out.
Seems good.
Oh, and there's 1 over here in the storm shelter. There may
Ooh,
be.
where's that? Where's the storm
down
shelter?
here.
Ooh, that's quite nice. Okay. So let's annoy the stranger by triggering the shred room and taking one of these.
Which one?
Choose wisely.
Oh,
Was that a good one?
That was the wrong choice.
it
That
totally was. the wrong
absolutely
choice.
100% the wrong choice. And then, because it seems kind of the way to do it, I'm going to use some compromat.
Okay.
I know it won't be on the Astro Chimp.
How do I do it? Do I just drag it?
Yeah, you can just place it out.
Yep. Put it
the
up at the
Daredevil?
very top of the board, or yeah, to where we
Yep.
can keep all the used compromat up there. So Daredevil.
I'm going to get the Daredevil to pick up that one.
Yes, that's fine.
Oh, that's nasty. Clever, but nasty.
Stealing all our compromise.
Well,
Right.
that's the plan, right?
So I want to know what the compliment was that you had on Daredevil. Like,
I mean, the Daredevil.
he's
does a
scared of
lot
heights?
stuff.
I don't know. What?
Yeah.
Or she? Sorry.
Maybe her fake leg is fake and she has a real leg underneath it.
Oh.
Ooh.
She uses stabilizers to ride a bike.
Yeah, they stabilizers. That's
Yeah,
classic.
she uses like training wheels to ride a bike. Until she was like 25. So those pictures
Devastating. I mean, that's career ending.
to anyone. Right, that's me. I'll end my turn. That's me done with 2 actions and a bit of compromise. So I'll
Well,
All
that
right,
kind
I'm
of
moving the turn marker. Approximately 11 turns left.
2, 4, 5. Oh, that is such a tough call. So I don't know if that's the right thing to do or not. I know I have sort of plans, kind of, sort of, but golly, all right, against my better judgment. Let's see if I can grab 2 of those. Nope. Come on. Nope. All right, I give up. So I'm going to put 2 influence cubes. I keep using the wrong word. On Daredevil. That's French for the Daredevil.
Ooh.
And action 1. Oh, wait. Action marker. Activation marker goes on there. Okay. Action number 1. Go to the bridge. Free pickup. Compromat. So we got that one.
Compromise.
And action 2. Pick up. We got some compromat. So as you can see now, we now have that, and we have that to go along with that. So that's 3 extra actions we have. Now that's my entire turn. So I am now done with that, but I'm going to show everybody at home what ones they may be. There we go. All right, done.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and reveal.
Ooh.
I think,
Oh,
think
wait.
God.
I am the cyborg.
Ooh.
No. Okay.
All right. So hold on.
Using the cyborg if you're planning that.
Yeah, let's go over this a little bit here. Okay.
Yes. So the cyborg is a character in the cryo lab here. The cyborg, I'm looking out for revenge. So I really want to down officers. So anyone who's an officer now has a target on them. I will additionally score bonus points if those officers happen to be PCs. So think it through when you're making decisions about who to reveal as.
Oh, goodness.
I also do not want the contamination to escape, and I do want to light a fire. Or have there be at least one fire during Stationfall.
So it's interesting. You picked up the firebomb to cause a fire with the inspector, and yet the inspector is contaminated, which also means the inspector is a big old target.
Yes. To get the inspector was the one in the chemistry lab, and that's where the fire was. So that's why I used them. But it's not ideal. But I'm going to go ahead and activate the inspector, so I don't have to activate myself here.
Okay.
I'm going.
But
to...
now, and to be clear, sorry, Matt, real quick.
No, fine.
None of us are ever allowed to activate the cyborg from this point forward, except
or influence the cyborg.
Or that's what I meant. Influence or activate. Right.
Now, I'll mention that you can still use compromat on the cyborg.
Oh, so we can blackmail you. Okay.
The only difference is that if I say no, which is allowed if I'm a PC, if I've revealed as the cyborg and you say, hey, here's the green banana video or whatever it is, I can say no, but I become a suspect by doing so. So you see this little arrow
But you
down
don't
here.
care, right? Because you can win.
I don't care. because I can win even if guilty. So blackmailing the cyborg is unlikely to work unless it's to do something that I additionally want done against some third party. Bribes are also possible. You can bribe PCs. However, they can say no with no penalties at all. However, if they say yes, then you play it usual. You will place the bribe token on the character, and that token would be worth a point for me at the end of the game. All right, I'm going to, even though I've revealed as the cyborg, I'm going to activate the inspector. I'm going to move one to the cryo lab. I'm going to hand over the explosive to
Fire
the
by the
cyborg.
Molotov cocktail.
Oh no, he's got a
And,
plan.
And I am done with my turn.
He's got to put something on fire.
How many turns left now, Matt?
Not enough.
11 approximately. There's a 1 in 3 chance that we'll have an additional turn.
Although it could end early, can it not?
Oh, if the antimatter detonates on board, that'll end the game. If nanites swarm across everything, that'll end the game. There's a number of ways that the game can end early.
Oh, so interesting. There's what I need to do, and then there's the shiny things that look good.
So there was no activation marker on the inspector, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So no, Matt gets 2. Who did you activate last turn, Matt?
The station chief.
Station chief. There you go, Eric. So I think you're just confused on that.
Okay. Do I want to move?
I'm just filling time, Jess. So when you're ready, you go for it.
Oh, it's fair. I gotta pick one. All right, I'm gonna go down here. So I'm gonna activate the troubleshooter.
Okay. So at least 1 cube over there.
Yeah.
It starts with a big old club.
There's the troubleshooter.
It's a wrench. I got
Sure
a
it
wrench.
is.
I could bludgeon now. I want
Right.
to bludgeon. I have options over here, but I want to pick up for my free pickup this thing.
All right. The rocket pack.
Okay.
Rocket girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rocket woman. I apologize. Sorry.
Okay. We're gonna go 1 and 2.
Okay. So you could have taken out the engineer if you wanted, right?
I could clubbed him over the head.
Right.
Yes, but that would have been on camera.
Yeah,
Right.
the cameras
Whatever that's
are on.
worth.
Right.
Maybe
How does
I'm
one
just
turn
the cameras
lying
off?
in
Possible.
wait
You can
until
turn the
are
cameras off with
At
a
a console.
console action. So
Yeah.
any place you can find a console, there's 2 of them, the mainframe and the security station. You can also knock them out by damaging one of the power sections. Will move us to backup power, and the jammers and cameras turn off in that situation.
There we go. All right.
Do you just move it? You just move into there and then just damage them as an action.
Yes, you'll need a weapon, either
yeah.
a gun
It's
or a
basically the
bludgeon
same thing
or
you
a
do
control.
for a character, except you're hurting the station.
Sure.
Right.
Sure. So you still need a weapon. Okay. Grand.
All right, that's go, Tony.
Now, what do I do now?
What do you do?
What do I do? So. Diana. Okay. Oh, there is a thing. So, if that happened, let's see. Is there anyone that hasn't been moved? Yeah, there's a few things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The exile
There's a
hasn't.
chunk of them, right? Yeah.
The medical hasn't.
Yeah.
Stowaway still not on the board.
Interesting. Oh yeah, that's a good point. And that placing is
You get to put it anywhere you want, right?
any
Yeah.
Any
Dark.
dark.
It has
Any
that
dark.
hacker.
Right.
Yeah. any
Does that
dark
also
place.
include up north, up here, in the airlocks?
just in the airlock? Yeah.
Or
But
in
not
McLean.
Oh.
anywhere behind locked doors, presumably.
Sure. Oh,
no,
you
you're
could
well.
spawn in
And-
McQueen.
Any dark section.
Okay.
Interesting. So
That
if
is actually.
so, if the stowaway magically appeared in Vault X, how do they get out?
The stowaway has been battened down inside a horrible room with a horrible thing or whatever.
Of
and
course.
is not getting out until someone releases them.
So, but they can step through vents, meaning that they can get into Vault X and then they can come out that way.
Yes, that's true. They can take this vent.
Right. Okay, that's very interesting. And the first move onto the board is free.
It is not free. It's your first
Oh.
action.
Oh, it's your first action.
Brianna says, also, gotta say, doing all this remote and over Tabletop Simulator for a game this involves, super talented, all of you. Thank you. I would commend
Super
everybody
talented.
that is
Yeah,
on
it's
here.
not
Yes.
it's not too bad actually. The this what do you call it? This version of Stationfall, this workshop kind of mod is
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah,
really
this
is.
has been scripted really, really well.
Yeah.
And
scripted, yeah,
and
yeah, all
let me
scripted.
tell you how nice the artwork is now compared to. No, I'm messing, Matt. I'm totally just messing.
I'm gonna hold my tongue, Edward.
No, for those at home, everybody, we had played an earlier version of this, and Matt did a really, really good job. Maybe
He did, though.
if we
It was
remember,
like
we can flip over the
Photoshop
map.
and
Yeah, but one thing that threw me at first was the station has been flipped,
there is no up and down in space.
but it's been flipped. It's been inverted.
To your view.
That's just
true.
your preconceptions, man.
Like Banker Dave.
Let's
Right.
do this.
All right, what you got?
So, yeah, I think we'll do. Where's me cubes? The cubes are here. So I've used 2 of them. Okay, that's fine. We're going to do this. Get a thing on.
Yeah, just move the cube a little bit. There you go, and then hit it. There you go.
Yoink.
There's one. Station
One,
chief.
I think one will do. I think.
Okay. Because you're tied for the lead now
Yep.
for it.
Hang on. Let's get up here. Station chief. Sorry, I have to scroll my screen.
No, you're fine. You're
Wrong.
good, man.
So
right.
let's move the station chief.
Or
the station chief-
activate the station chief.
Activate the station chief. So the station chief is in here. And the station chief, I think, wants to go. So we can get through there. So I can get to 1, 2.
No. 1, 2. You'll stop
Oh,
here.
yeah. Yeah, you're right. Okay. So we'll go 1.
Yep.
2.
And you can do the free pickup if you would like.
Yep.
I mean, it would seem silly not to. And then, let me just check my numerous documents that I have on other people.
Well, you're
I can relate. I can relate.
So
He's over
much.
there working at the Inquirer. He's like,
So let's cause some fun, shall we? Mr. Cyborg
How can I be of assistance?
doesn't want any infected. Oh, hang on. But I can't activate the cyborg, and the detective is already infected. Is that correct?
The inspector is
Inspector,
infected.
they are
Inspector is
infected, correct.
Outrageous. Okay. Well, in that case, we shall. I'm gonna leave it there.
so Andy said anyone who wants Matt's edition can get their own with a Ziploc bag of pennies. I like that. We're not shipping you the pennies though. You're gonna have to go into the teller and tell her that you need a roll of pennies for a board game,
Right.
and then. split it
No,
that way.
I'm good. I'm done.
Okay. All right. Well,
I'm moving the turn marker. Approximately 10 turns left.
thank you.
Sorry,
And
that took so long.
I am going to go ahead and use, I'm not going to reveal. I am, before I do anything else, I am going to show that the counselor actually has some, or let them know that I have proof that they have forged their degree. And the counselor
I mean,
is
they're
a
just
fraud.
a counselor. You can just put up a therapist instead of
I'm
psychotherapist. It's
work with
fine.
me here, would you? They're a fraud. They don't want that to get out.
Maybe they don't care.
Oh, they care. Oh, they care. And they're actually going to go ahead and activate here the shred room. And they're going to go ahead and pick up the compromat there
What?
that's in the queen.
You're all right.
Okay.
Did Jess just break her mic?
It's possible.
Seriously, Jess, say something. I think she just broke her mic.
think
I
she
heard a
screamed-
high-pitched robotic
I did
scream.
too.
So
It sounded like she
um,
screamed bloody murder at the fact that you just picked up some compromat and that
That
broke the
checks
microphone.
out as far as I'm concerned.
Are we confident in her humanity?
No. We
send a medical
after my
button.
turn, I may be moving up there for a moment to try and do a little troubleshooting. I don't know what just happened. Although apparently that was probably a glory to Rome, is what I'm gathering. Yeah, thumbs up. Okay, all right. So that would be a glory to Rome. So we have one. I forgot to set an over under. I was going to set that at 4.5. But anyway, so we got some compromat there. Now we get to take an action.
You can still act. That was just your compromat. You
Yeah.
haven't activated anyway.
What are we trying to do? Okay, so I think if we go there and there, question mark? Maybe not. I'm thinking, yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. We are not going to use any influence cubes. We are going to go ahead and activate Les Engineer, which is French for the engineer. And we have 2 actions here. And we're going to move 1 into the forward hub and 2 up to the aft hub right there.
Interesting.
And that's me. So now I am going to put that just like so, and I will have to be right back while I go try and troubleshoot. I'll be right back, but go for it.
Speaking of troubleshooting, I think I'm going to troubleshoot that engineer. I'm going to influence. It's already been activated. Never mind. I'm going to.
Jess's last turn, I think.
I'm just going to activate myself, and I will. This is risky. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to run to the forward hub.
Someone introduced a Cylon into the mix. What's going on? It's like 1970s Battlestar Galactica in here.
I think it's appropriate, Tony. I think that's right on point. I sort of imagine the last moments on the station would be full of inhuman screams and static and stuff.
Yeah. And the humanity. Is it? Have you finished your turn, or?
I have. It'll be.
Okay.
Wow, that was a thing.
Yeah, let's not. Is it off now?
Yeah,
We can-
they can't hear you.
We can hear you.
Super can hear you.
We also heard whatever happened.
Can
5
you hear?
seconds ago.
Can you hear me now?
We can.
Oh, okay, you're all set. Oh, all right. So my turn. Yeah, it was making a weird metal sound.
No, you're not kidding.
No kidding. All right, let's see what I can do here. And now this isn't working. All right, so the counselor currently has 1 cube on it. Or is
Yeah,
that 2?
I think I did it. I
Okay.
used that last turn, right?
So 1 cube there.
Oh, no, wasn't me.
I would only have to put 1 cube. No, that was Edward, I think, when he took
Yeah,
the
you're right.
compromat I wanted. So I could get this one down here from that room. And then do that. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna activate the counselor. I only have to put 1 cube, right? Because tied for most.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, that's not what I want, but that works.
So where is the cyborg? The cyborg is there. Okay,
All right.
interesting.
And so the counselor has this shred room,
Yes.
so I can use that to get the compromat that's way down here. I think that's
Exactly.
the last one, isn't it?
Looks like it to me. Yeah.
Right.
So there's 3 been used. I have 3. That's 6.
I've got 4.
And how do I flip it?
You can
it-
when it comes into your hand, you'll be able to see it.
Or you
No,
can
I
just
didn't
hit
do that.
1 to bring it into your hand, remember.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
brought it into my hand and I didn't do that.
Yeah,
There we
but if
go.
you, yeah,
Okay, I'm
that
good.
works
I
too.
know who I got.
cool.
What is that? Okay,
Where did all the used compromat go?
interesting.
Oh, it's up there, up the top. I see.
And so that you guys can't do that super easily anymore, I'm going to move him out of here.
Okay.
And I think I will move him down here.
Well,
So your first action was to activate the shred room.
Yeah.
Your second action can be to move to the therapy garden,
Okay,
but
that's
that'll
fine.
be your second action.
there you go. Right.
That's fine. There we go. That's it.
So Matt, what did you do on your turn? I missed it. I apologize.
I moved the cyborg into the nano factory and into the forward hub.
Okay. All right.
Cool. No, I think
For no reason, with no agenda whatsoever, and
La, la,
ignore
la.
the smoldering bomb in my hand.
he does have a bomb in his hand, but it's not got a bomb. It's not a bomb that's going to blow up the station, right?
No, the firebomb, and I should explain, the firebomb, I can throw it, and I can throw it into an adjacent section, and then all it will do is damage the section and start a fire there. Now, fires won't harm robots, and they won't harm humans that have helmets, but it will down any humans that do not have helmets in there.
In that room, right?
It's a hazard.
Right.
Yeah.
And the aforementioned Daredevil who isn't downed by hazards, right?
And that's right. The Daredevil is
Cool.
not down by hazards.
So let's have a shot of the Daredevil, shall we?
I'll also mention the reactor
that's
is a
actually a
thing
good idea.
that's fairly relevant here. Because the engineer is in the game, this is a fission reactor. And so if you damage it, which you cannot do with a regular tool, you have to use a gun or a bomb. But if you do, it'll put gas everywhere adjacent to the reactor. So it will spread radiation all over. If the
Okay.
reactor is damaged by something, I can't imagine how the reactor could be damaged by something. But the angry cyborg with a bomb
There we go.
is a theoretical possibility here.
That's funny. I went ahead and moved the compromat to the left side of the character boards there, so that it shows who's had it used.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Perfect. Yep.
Okay.
Cool. So I've got 2 actions with the Daredevil. This is going to be pretty quick. We'll go in here for 1. We'll pick up that Daredevil kind of a helmet,
Yep.
and then we will move into here. And
And
of course,
what?
let's see what that can do. That's not going to do anything, so we will pass.
Mm.
All right, I'm going to move the turn marker. We have 9 turns left approximately. And Edward.
It's getting close to Stationfall.
Lots of time left.
One.
I
What's the time
don't think that means what you think it means.
Okay. So there.
I can't believe I broke my mic earlier. That was fun. Need a
All right.
compressor
I
for
am going to
upstairs here.
activate Astro Chimp. Other side, right there. And no cubes out there. Don't need to. Astro Chimp cannot go through the lock.
No.
But Astro Chimp can go 1, 2,
Shiny.
and pick up a shiny.
Shiny.
Getting
Might
a
as well.
briefcase, are you?
Shiny.
That's me. I think a moment.
Who's got the artifact?
The engineer has the artifact, if I remember
Engineer
correctly.
has the
Yep,
artifact.
engineer does right here.
Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right,
and
right.
it's funny because I recall Edward picked up that artifact too.
Yeah.
I did. Well, technically, the engineer did while influenced by me, so that's a fair. That's a fair statement.
Handing that off to a monkey at all.
So a moment.
Interesting.
I'm just debating whether or not to consider using some compromat or not. I am looking where things are, and there is one in particular I cannot lay eyes on quite yet, and who is it? It is that. So where the hell are you? Oh, got it. Okay. No, and no. I'm done. That's me. Hey, Yorick.
Matt,
Welcome. Sorry about y'all's ears on that. Just technical issue on that. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you should have heard it from our side, Jess.
Oh, it was pretty
impressive.
extreme over here too. Yeah,
Sorry.
not your fault.
Need to get a compressor up here, apparently.
Because we use that so often.
No.
You just need one that follows
right.
me around.
I'm going to bribe the Daredevil and have the Daredevil throw her helmet from the tanks to the forward hub.
Okay, so it's just one adjacent spot. Yep.
And then I will activate myself, and I will use the free pickup to pick up the helmet.
I didn't even know you could do that. Wow.
And I will move to the aft hub and then into the machine shop, and I'm done.
Interesting.
If there were not alarm bells going off from the cyborg revealing earlier, they should be well going off by
Well,
now.
yeah. I feel that we're not doing enough to
Thwart you.
well,
Yeah,
I guess
I
it depends
agree.
who we are, right? I guess it depends who we are. And the cyborg special is
So Jess just moved the troubleshooter up to the aft airlock as well.
really.
Really? That did
Everyone,
not work right.
everyone is just scuppering my plans. Where is? Hang on, where's the troubleshooter? Oh, the troubleshooter is there.
Troubleshooter ran very fast from the
Very
forward hub to
fast.
the aft hub and then crawled through the secret shortcut vents to get to the aft airlocks.
So,
And no, the cyborg will not always. Yes, they will always get 2 actions. Yeah. Yeah.
so the troubleshooter is there, and because the troubleshooter can go through vents. Now, the troubleshooter presumably can't throw things through vents.
That's correct.
Asher, what Yuval is asking is, because there's already an action marker on here, but because of the special ability of the cyborg, it's as if that's not on there. So it
Yes.
would be like move it off, move it on, as opposed to for the rest of us, like if I were to reactivate the Astro Chimp, I would only get 1 action because my marker is already there.
Yep.
Okay.
So uncanny is what gives that special ability. And Stranger has uncanny as well, which is kind of useful.
Okay then.
And Matt, what's zero gravity? Where is?
Great question. So
I know that
there's
it's on
2
here
rings.
somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's here in the
There it
legend,
is.
but there's 2 rings. They spin to provide artificial simulated
There you
gravity
go.
to
Yep.
the rings. So that means anything it's not spinning is going to be 0 gravity. So that
Gotcha.
means the pink sections, but it also includes EVA.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then,
EVA is not technically escaping, right?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
EVA means you're going to burn up in the atmosphere, somewhat separate from the station, but you'll get a good view.
Right. All right. Awesome. Tony.
oh, you guys have just.
Sorry, Tony. That was
Hold
me.
on. Wasn't it you, Tony, talking about how you don't want to play any heads down games? You only want heads up
I'm
games?
not.
He's enjoying it.
Hey, I'm enjoying it. It just doesn't.
He's just. I kind of felt like I was going to get a glory to rum for that, but he didn't do it.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. Right, then let's do this. If we have to put that up, okay. So again, a loaded question, but how does one rob?
Okay, so we'll go to the basic actions. It's 12.9.
Oh yeah, sorry, I should probably just read the rules, right?
That's fine. The idea of robbing is that you're going to take a weapon, so a bludgeon or a gun, and you're going to take an item from somebody that you could have attacked. So instead of attacking them, you take an item from them.
I understand. Okay. So who's got that and who's got one of that? Oh, right. Okay. And my last action was that. Sorry, I'm working. Where's the station? I think. What has that got?
Yeah, there's just no way that's
All right.
going to happen.
So let's get a cube. How many cubes have I got? I've got 4 cubes. That's not as many as I would like. And I've got a little bit of that. Okay. So let's do the station chief.
So that's going to be up here. Yep. So what's it going to be?
Just going to cause some havoc. We're going to 1, 2. No. I would like to. Can you bribe someone to throw something?
You can.
Cool. Then. Oh.
Compromat on the troubleshooter. Okay.
I would like the troubleshooter to throw their jetpack into the machine shop.
All right. Troubleshooter will throw the jetpack to the machine shop. Do you still have your free pickup drop?
I do. No, I'm 100%. I'm 100% aware of what I'm setting this up for. But
Oh, I think
especially
everyone
because
is.
because you go before Jess. But yeah, go on. Let's pick it up. 100% certain what's going to happen.
Over there in this little.
So I'll put it in here. That's me. Sorry it took so long. I blame
No,
Jess.
you're fine.
It's always Jess's fault. I'd say
Yeah.
1, 2. And I mean, I could. Is it worth it though? Where is that? That's there. I don't think that really helps. Ah. So there's that. You are terrible. This is not going how I wanted it to go, just to be clear.
Turn marker. Approximately 8 turns.
I mean, we could do that.
Yeah, okay.
Or we could do that.
Those are good things to do.
I think. Oh, but I don't want to put more cubes. I hate you all.
So while we're waiting for you, Edward, I have
Yeah.
a question. So Matt, we're nearing the point of wanting to, we're nearing the point of wanting to activate these guys to leave. Can you explain how the timed launch works?
Yes. So once again, I've described that most of these pods won't launch without abandoned ship being triggered, which right now nothing's gone horribly wrong in the station to trigger it. It'll automatically trigger on turn 1. However, for example, the Inspector Shuttle or the Medevac pod are available to launch, assuming you can meet their other preconditions. And there's 2 ways to do it. One is from inside the shuttle, you can use an action called timed launch. And that will basically place a time disk on the shuttle or the pod, whatever it is. And this works for the other pods too, if you can meet their preconditions. That effectively means that the pod will actually launch at the end of your next turn. So if you move in there and activate that as an action, we'll put a time disk on it. That disk will resolve at the end of your next turn is when it will actually launch. Alternatively, you can use the section launch, which will automatically and immediately, I shouldn't say automatically, will immediately launch an adjacent occupied pod. So if they can meet, whoever's doing the action, if they can meet the preconditions, they can launch it and it just instantly goes. But they get left behind. Whoever presses the button gets left behind.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah, let's go ahead and do it. We're going to expedite things. We're going to activate the engineer. Engineer is going to go 1, 2 through the lock. We're allowed.
Yes.
And we're going to eject the... so that's 2 actions. And do I have to pick up the antimatter to eject it?
Now, I'm going to pause for a second. The engineer cannot actually go into magnetic containment because it's full of gas, and the engineer does not have a helmet.
Self-preservation, Edward.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't... check that. Grrr. So maybe we don't do that.
There is there's a helmet over in storage.
Where's storage? Where?
Top left. Yeah.
Oh, that's far.
Super convenient. Very, very
just
conveniently
saying,
located.
it's right there. It's right there.
Okay, so check that. We are not going to do that. Man, this is brutal.
You could bribe the stranger. The stranger has a helmet, right? Is that bribe but you'd still have to get up to the stranger.
Bribe or compromise would work.
Cyborg also has a helmet.
And where's the cyborg?
Good luck bribing Cyborg.
Yeah. I'd prefer not to. So there's that. That really is just terrible. That one.
Were people moving things on their turns again?
No, it's less about that, and it's more about just things aren't where they need to be. So
Matt did say this was built on a budget, the station.
Clearly. You know what?
Issued.
I'm going to go ahead and activate the counselor, throw a cube over there on the counselor instead.
Okay.
So we will go 1, pick up the helmet.
Yes, that's free.
There we go. And there. Okay. And 2, we'll... Yep, we're going to go right back in there. Done. I think that's me. And... I hate my life. All right, that's it. Done. Yeah.
Here it comes.
All right, Matt.
Oh, there's choices. There's so many
Matt.
choices, but there's
Do the
just
one that's nice to me.
Just set it up for you, Matt. Just do it. Come on.
There's one character in here that scares me more than any other, and so I'm going to prioritize that. I'm going to activate the cyborg. I'm going to use my free pickup to pick up.
The weapon.
This is for self-defense.
Clearly.
And I'm going to move to the aft airlocks. And I'm going to use the cyborg's brutal ability to down a helmeted human, which will remove both the helmet and the weapon. So the weapon is destroyed, and the stranger's helmet is destroyed, but the stranger is downed.
Down goes the stranger.
And I'm done with my turn.
So if anyone's got any compromat from the stranger, it's not really going to work at the moment, right?
I'm going to say this really quietly. Glory to
Just don't-
Rome.
There you go,
Don't
Matt.
break your mic again, Jess.
Yep.
That's all we ask.
You're a jerk.
You know she wanted to.
Schrodinger's reveal.
That's why would that be? No, but it still messes up what I was trying to help do.
Sure.
Just like I messed up stuff for Tony just because I could.
Yeah.
That's
what we expected.
Let's see. So.
And we have our first casualty. I'm sure it'll be the only one.
Clearly, given how
Says-
much action's going on up here.
Says the cyborg carrying the fireball.
So. This is medical. This is a medical bot.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And he can get there in 2 moves.
Where is there?
There being the aft airlocks, you can get even faster due to the emergency response.
May revive a person, steps into section with down are always free. So this would be one action. Getting into this would be free.
Correct.
And now he could
Revive the stranger
Revive the
as
stranger.
your second. Yep. Exactly.
Yep.
Or
Because blackmail's an ugly word.
so that's done.
Why compromat versus blackmail? I prefer extortion, but okay.
Oh, action.
They basically, Ion said you can keep one of your fancy hoity-toity words, and I chose compromat.
And compromat works because compromising information. Like compromat's just easy to understand. Sojourn, which Matt is a lovely human, but also pronounces wrong because he calls it stubborn, but it's sojourn is hard. That's a tricky one.
And
Oh,
Christopher,
that's
Christopher, our rules lawyer, in a term of
suborn,
endearment,
yeah.
says compromat
Suborn.
is a thing.
Suborn.
Blackmail is
Suborn.
what you do with it.
That's true. That's true.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to go down to this medical, because if you use, that would only do 1. So I still have to activate the emergency response, right?
You just the emergency response is an ability that medical has. You will have to activate medical to move around and do stuff with medical, but
But would that happen automatically if he were next to?
no.
Okay, steps into section, right down, always free. Okay, so we're going to do the thing with the thing and activate medical.
Okay.
His action's going to be to move 1.
That's one action. Yep.
And then because he has this emergency response, he's automatically going to hear that there's something wrong with the stranger, and he's going to jump over here because that's what doctors do.
Especially robot
and now,
doctors.
I can use an action for him to revive the stranger.
And when you do so, whoop,
That's right.
that
You
moves
score a
over,
point for medical.
and we have now revived, or the med score, that's
How do
1
we
point.
Get rid of that?
So I
There
can
you
move
go.
this thing.
Thank you. Okay.
Yes, I imagine medical with a little siren. Do 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 do.
Uh-huh.
It knows we push
Okay.
for a code blue, and in he comes.
And its name is Dr. Gray.
Okay. Let's do a thing.
Well done, Dr. Gray.
Doctor.
Doctor.
Two on the engineer.
Okay.
Activate said engineer.
Okay.
Before we do,
Ooh.
we're going to play. We've been playing like weird American football with this, but we're going to do it.
Put it on whoever it is.
Station chief.
Okay.
The station chief is going to throw that to the engineer. So
From here to there. Yep. Or
Yeah.
throw it now. Do they throw into the room or do they throw to the character?
into the room. I still have to pick it up.
That's
Okay.
right.
Yeah. So let's do a free pickup.
Okay.
Yoink. That's terribly messy, but you know what I mean. And then let us. Job done. Excuse me for. Oh, I
Okay.
didn't move my. Sorry. Oh no, that was right. That was correct.
All right, I'm going to move the turn marker. You're down to 7 turns. 0 casualties. Everything is just fine.
All right. Well,
You know what's going to happen? I feel like somebody at a convention is going to try to play this literally in the 15-minute of the marker. And no, really, like they're going to be like, we're going to play this 3 or 4 player, and you have 15 seconds each turn. Real-time Stationfall. That'd be a great tournament.
That's
And you do it.
so I could.
that's
do
not
that.
bad.
Keep bouncing around.
You wouldn't have time to get angry either. When
You'd just be so quick. You're like, ah.
Because someone would just go, free pickup, wrench, move into
Yeah,
you, bash
go,
on head, done. Now you go. What?
It's just,
Great.
that would be utter chaos. It'd be amazing.
Yeah.
And just like we use the chess timer, 15 seconds.
I am doing a
Yeah,
really
yeah.
poor job here. Okay. So if that's
Abandon
the
ship.
case,
Move. Get
then
into pod.
we
Exactly.
are.
I know Andy's in chat. Andy, let's make this happen.
We're
need to
gonna go
15
and activate the
minute
Astro Chimp.
Speedfall.
Astro Chimp will just move right there. And let me see. Done. That's all we're. Is it? Oh, I hate this. This is so brutal. What do we have? I have that and that. And let me see.
I'm with you, York. That's what gave me the idea. 1846 and 46 minutes.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, I was
That's
thinking
it.
that. Yeah.
It'd be so good.
All right, Matt.
All right, I'm going to influence the troubleshooter. I'm going to activate the troubleshooter. I'm going to have the troubleshooter check on Medical's internal mechanisms by smashing them with their wrench. Then I'm going
Kill the
to
doctor.
move
So he can kill the stranger again and not have it revived.
to the aft hub. I need to think about this. Yes, I'll go to the aft hub. I'm done.
You're a jerk. Glory to
Sorry,
Rome.
What happened to
And
the-
we're at 3.
the stranger was down, right? So the med guy
Revived.
revived
Yep.
him.
And then
Right. And paid the price
the ultimate
for
price.
for
Yes.
his betrayal.
Oh.
God. Unless someone need to fix. Yeah, I see.
So the stranger has this nano thing. Does that repair robots or no?
Nope.
Yes, it does.
Oh, it does.
Thank you.
It does.
Oh, I thought it was humans only. Okay.
Is that out, or what do I do with that? Flip it because it's two,
You can
right?
flip. You can flip it if you use it. If you use it on the robot,
Okay.
nothing stays dead.
Yep.
Not on
And
Jess's watch.
Move the stranger over here.
Okay.
So that was 2. That's my turn.
Interesting. How many turns we got left? there's
Approximately 6.
More turns than I'd like. Well, I think. No, there's plenty of time to do that. Okay then. So I did the engineer last turn. I have 2 cubes left. I can do this. No, what compromat do I have available? Ooh. I mean, that was funny, isn't it? It's really funny. Going to just have a quick look at what my compromat can buy me. Oh, of course, we've got bribes as well, right?
It's basically a universal, a wild,
Sure.
right?
Sure. So, I don't see
Things can
anything-
only die if Jess says they can die.
I'm just trying to be a good robot and medical person, people on the ship. I haven't hurt anybody. See, do no harm. Being so nice.
I don't see anything wrong with
All right, you're the daredevil. All right.
Oh no, hang on, I've just used you.
Oh, I am not, in fact, the daredevil, or am I?
I am, as I'm sure you'll be delighted to hear, the daredevil.
All right, so we have our first betrayal.
There
The
you
orange
go.
cubes go into the betrayal box. The blue cubes are returned.
Thank you. But I don't have to activate the daredevil, do I?
You do not.
No.
Just
no one else can-
now, the point break is available,
Yeah.
right?
The point break is indeed available,
Oh,
which
it
is
is super available.
which is what we want. So someone's already bribed the daredevil, yeah?
Yes, I miscalculated when I chose who to send my money to.
Good stuff. It's nothing the daredevil
Now,
likes more than you paid to do this stuff.
You do need a helmet.
I do need a
if you
helmet. I
wanna
wonder
do
where
the-
I
if
could-
you want to do the point break.
I mean, wonder where I could get a helmet from.
Get it. Do it.
Little storm shelter
Do I-
action.
Do
It's
I need to
pretty
bring?
close.
Yeah. Do I need to bring? Hang on a second. We got 1, 2. So I can do this then. Oh no, because that would only be one thing. You've got that. No, but that's not going to work. I need more stuff.
So who are you
More
activating?
stuff. What I'm going to do is trying to figure out if this is worth it or not. Can you bribe the player you're activating?
Yes, as
You
long as it's
can.
not you, right?
You can't bribe yourself. It's your
Yeah, that's
your
fine.
PC,
That's
I
absolutely
should
fine.
say.
That's absolutely fine. So let's do this.
You're at peace with yourself.
That is intense.
Why? What? Like, you already control that, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
But
Okay.
I don't want anyone else controlling it.
Clearly, that is the case.
So, what we're going to do is, once I double check the the rules, yeah, we're going to give the artifact to the daredevil.
So that's the one action you have for the engineer, then.
Yep. And then we'll bribe the engineer. Oh. To give me the rocket pack as well. Now, again fully aware of what's very likely to happen next, but that is me.
All right.
Glory
I'm
to
moving
Rome.
the turn marker. 6 turns left.
I had such an awesome turn scheduled. Not now.
Sorry, mate.
No, you're not.
He sounded sincere though. It was very.
Okay. So that just happened. Okay. What can we do then? Where? I can't. Oh God, this is terrible.
I love that, Tony. You put your cubes in an upside down flying man at the beginning of the game, and I'm only now realizing the foreshadowing that was there. That's excellent.
Well, originally it was just this is Stationfall, so I thought I'll make a little falling man. But as soon as I got dealt the daredevil, wow.
Kismet meant to be.
Absolutely.
That was terrible. Okay.
There have been so many games I've played of this that I begin with my characters. The characters come to me and I'm like, oh God, this is going to be so easy. All I have to do is this thing. It's so OP. And I've written to Andy and been like, I think these two together is like OP. I think I'm going to smash this. This is going to be great. And then I get to the end and he's like, how'd you do? And I'm like, I didn't get them there. It didn't work out. So, yeah. That's usually how Stationfall goes. It's going to be great. It's going to be so simple.
So what if we did that?
Stuff?
If we did, I think I might have figured something out. So if we...
Ooh, let's try this.
Oh. Oh. Well, okay. I think that works. So, oh no, it doesn't yet. But let's see, 1 there. That works. I think so. So can't do that, but I can do that. That works. I am going to activate, oh boy, it's going to cost me a cube. I'm going to grab a cube. We're going to throw it up here to the station chief. I'm going to activate said station chief. We're going to move 1 there. Going to give the weapon to the Astro Chimp.
Oh no.
Oh.
And for the second one.
That was the second one, wasn't it?
Yes, that would be.
Oh, that technically, you're right. You're right, and
Move
could pick up and drop. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That. I think that's me. Let me double check. Make sure I'm not. make sure I'm doing this right. Yeah, that's it. That's me.
Love this quote somebody just put in chat. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face.
Yep.
Mike Tyson.
Speaking
Right,
of punching in the face, Cyborg, it's your go.
Yeah.
I'm going to use the Exile's compromat. Exile, all I need you to do, all you got to do, easy job, just walk into the totally safe aft hub. Completely safe. Everything's fine there. I'm sure everything's going to be great. Then I'm going to activate the Cyborg. I'm going to move to the machine shop, and I am going to throw the firebomb into the aft hub, setting a fire there and downing any humans that are unlucky enough not to have a helmet. Raise your hand if you're in the aft hub and you've got a helmet.
I can't hear you over the screaming. Wow.
Oh my God.
Take that, guys.
Oh my God.
We've unleashed a monster, or rather, he unleashed himself. But
Hey, Matt,
Yes.
glory to Rome.
I'm outside the realm.
You can keep
of
adding to that. Glory to
understanding,
Rome.
but
Another glory to Rome. Okay. So
fire is not going to spread in zero gravity in here, but it is. There's a lot of patience for medical, if that's a thing.
So if medical were to come in here, like you would have to activate medical.
Mm-hmm. Now they can't revive anybody inside a hazard that would down them.
They can drag though.
But they can drag. You could drag them out.
So this would require what? If you activate medical,
Yes.
it's going to automatically move in.
No, there's nothing automatic about it. It's just that you
Okay.
get a free step if it's into a
Okay.
down
So
section. with
if
a
you were
human.
moving in, you're going to, but that's not going to count as one of its actions.
So you'd move 1 to the reactor, then free into the
Oh,
aft
'cause
hub,
it can't come this way.
and then
Okay.
2 to drag a body out of the fire. And future actions would have to be used to revive the smoldering corpse.
Oh, and you're aren't you a suspect now, Matt?
There are lots of things that would make me a suspect, but the fugitive nature of the cyborg, due to the fugitive ability,
Doesn't
I will
matter.
not become a suspect. The cyborg doesn't care about what happens to the cyborg.
Wow.
no actions taken with or against this character will make him a suspect.
Okay. So
just
that
a
was
term.
all of medical's actions, as Matt just detailed.
Yep. So 1
Exactly.
free,
However-
2. Yep.
However, if I want to revive troubleshooter,
You could
Um,
bribe
Medical's
or
going to need-
compromise.
Yeah, what's your insurance look like? How much money? Oh, even better. Yeah, the compromat will get it done.
have a nice day, Matt.
Compromat for who?
For the medical robot, is violated
I've been
medical
waiting on that
protocols.
because I know Matt. So I've been waiting with that. Come at me. That'd be
That's
my
all right.
turn.
That's all right. It's okay. Everything's fine. I haven't been saving up that firebomb since turn
Nope.
1 or anything, Jess.
Nope,
Everything's great.
it's all right. Leave me alone.
So, just to summarize, the medical bot came into the aft hub and revived the.
No, came into the
trouble-
aft hub, dragged the troubleshooter out of the
dragged
house.
it.
Yes,
Nice.
out of the aft
As
hub
part
to
of your
get them away
movement
from the
action.
fire.
You can
Nice.
drag
And
a
then
downed
using the
character 1 step.
compromat, the medical was then influenced into reviving.
So the poor
Working
old
extra
medic-
fast.
The poor old medical bot who just did you a favor by dragging you out of a
Said,
fire.
I know what you did last summer. And then,
I feel so bad for this medical bot. God,
I mean, it's
he's
fine.
helpful.
Yes.
He's
And he
helpful.
got
And
His
Really
compromat
cool.
has been retained. Maybe it didn't happen that way, Tony. Maybe actually the troubleshooter was so grateful and said, you know what? I've been holding on to this compromat. I'm going to give it back to
Just
you.
it's
And then the
disgusting,
medical
that's what
bot
it
was like, see, I'll save you now. It's
So
all
there is
nice.
no one in the central section of this place.
There is
one
right
is
here.
out.
The inspector.
Oh, the inspectors, yeah, but you know, very good.
That was so dismissive. The
I mean,
spectre.
whatever.
Ah.
Whatever, right? Whatever.
In other
So-
words, no one. There's no
Down.
one.
He's down. Oh, he's not down. But where is he? He is there. That is interesting. But we cannot move through there. So, in fact, making the aft hub or throwing a bomb into the aft hub really hampers movement, right?
Uh-huh.
Yes, in or around the aft hub, absolutely.
Yeah. Which is-
Unfortunately, the troubleshooter's on the other side of my firewall.
Oh no, that's just terrible.
Again,
Okay.
I don't think unfortunately means what you think it means.
I think.
Then I think
Okay, I
we're
know what
just,
my turn is. At
I
least.
think we just have a relatively straightforward turn, which is to do this. Since my game plan is relatively straightforward, we'll go
Yeah.
1, pick up, and then is it worth moving back in? Well, thanks to the aft hub being in flames, it's very difficult to get back down here, so we'll just move back. And dun, da, da, let's not do anything else. All done. Thank you.
All right, I'm moving the turn marker. Approximately 5 turns left.
Oh, there's someone in a shuttle. Look at that.
Yes,
Ah,
with a well, yes.
that's
There's a reason. There's a reason they're in that shuttle and not one of the conveniently located escape pods.
I don't know what
interesting.
you're talking about, man.
Abandoned ship is not required to launch. Do you
Where's the
badge?
shuttle? Where?
The shuttle's up at the top. There's 4 shuttles.
Oh, yeah. Right,
That's
yeah. Yeah. All right. So
Reveal,
one-
huh? Reveal.
Reveal!
Is it revealing?
No. I am going to activate the stowaway.
Oh, finally. Finally.
There.
Yes.
Where's the stowaway coming in?
Right to the aft exhaust.
There you go.
That's action 1, correct?
Yes, that's
yeah.
action 1.
Action number 2 is to come here. Action number 3, well, no, is going to be that.
Compromat is going to
And we put out the fire.
Yeah. Now I'll just mention that that works. You'll actually change the fire into gas. So
Oh, whoa.
So
There's still
here's
gas.
here's the action.
You're in space.
You will turn a fire into gas or remove a gas. That's what the hazard suppression is.
Ah!
How did you do that from the security station?
It's got a console in the
Oh,
security
right. Yeah.
station.
Gotcha. I see. Yeah, I missed that. Sorry. 1, 2.
Well, you're using
and
the
then
gas
bribe.
to put out the fire, but now you have to get rid of the gas.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that doesn't really help.
You got 6 turns, 5 turns. You get 5 turns. Fine. It's going to be fine.
You're doing everyone a favor. Now they're not
It's
burning
fine.
alive. They're just choking.
You're going to
All
help
right.
everyone else escape.
Back it up. Even though I showed my hand, not doing that
No?
because
Darn it.
I omitted the whole gas part.
Too long of a turn for you.
Yeah. So instead, we will take our cube back. This works out. Can you walk into a fire with a helmet?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. We'll activate the counselor.
He just wanders into fire.
So yeah, as you do. So we're gonna
But he
come in
has
here.
he's got a helmet. He's fine.
Counselor must be having some tough sessions if a counselor needs a helmet.
And
right?
second,
He knew. See, this is the
Second
thing. He's been talking
is
to everybody. He knew what was
gonna
coming.
go ahead and drag
Everybody's nuts.
the Astro Chimp down here.
Okay.
To the forward hub.
Where was the counselor?
Was over here in the therapy garden as he
Oh yeah,
want to do.
1, 2. God, yeah. Interesting.
Okay.
Now y'all are making me question.
No, you were right.
Yeah,
No.
nothing wrong with that action.
No, you're
Okay,
fine.
All right.
You did it right.
Done. That's me.
Don't mess it up, Matt.
I think. Hold on.
I live for messing this up, but I will say that trying to mess up all three of you has been a real problem for me, and I've not played a particularly good game. I'm sure there are people watching this right now who are
this is
slapping
brutal.
their face at some of my moves. Well, I'm going to activate the cyborg. I'm going to move into the aft hub with my helmet. I'm going to pick up. Oh, where the hell did the weapon go? Wasn't there a weapon in here?
No.
Yeah, there was.
Who did the chimp pick up the weapon
damn
off the
Skippy.
station?
No,
chief?
Actually, the station chief gave it to the chimp.
Oh,
That's true.
I'm going to move 2 to the forward hub, and I'm going to relieve that chimp of that weapon, and that
Is
sort
that
of makes
is
the
that a free
decision for me.
Is that a free pickup because they're kind of half dead?
Yes, it's a free pickup.
Why is that a free pickup, Matt? Just explain.
You can pick up items off of downed co-located down characters.
Okay, because they're down. So they're passed out, and you're being a real big jerk and just pocketing them.
I mean, there was a briefcase full of money or a wrench, and I went for the wrench. Cyborg cares about what Cyborg cares about.
So you activated
Troubleshooter.
You're a
and
troubleshooter?
Went
Yep.
into an escape pod.
All right.
Getting the heck away from you, crazies.
Interesting.
Wow. All right. So what's it gonna be, Tony?
So that's the timed one. So that's not going anywhere until
It's not going anywhere.
Well,
Until it
not
gets
this
enough-
second.
And keep
takes a
in mind
turn.
how many people can fit in there.
Three.
Three.
Yep.
The troubleshooter has jury rigs, so the troubleshooter can hotwire this thing and drive
Yes.
off anytime they want to. Abandoned ship
really?
is not required on the inspector shuttle.
Yeah.
So there's extreme risk of multiple characters that I was planning on not getting off the station, but we'll see how the points line up.
Oh, this is terrible.
So 1, 2, 1, 2. Right. Okay. What's that guy gonna do? Has anyone just check the compromat that's come out already? Where did it get put? Where's the expired compromat?
Over here to the left of each character.
Oh,
so
right.
It
grand.
shows
Yeah, I
which
see.
ones have been used. Yeah.
I see. Well, that's disappointing.
God, this is terrible.
Okay.
I mean, being on a station that's falling into Earth's atmosphere and about to explode is pretty terrible. Especially when you're surrounded by lunatics that are either trying to kill you, maim you, steal things from you, tell your secrets. It's like a soap opera.
So what is it you're doing, Tony?
Engineer.
Okay.
1. I mean, I'm kind of. Oh, wait a minute. Is that? Yeah, I'm very unhappy at that. That would be a silly thing to do. Do you know what? Sorry, I'm going to just walk that back, which is pretty straightforward.
Yep.
I'm not going to go
okay.
engineer after all. I'm going to just. Oh, hang on, I can't pick that.
I got you. To
there we go.
Daredevil.
Yeah, we just did the
Reactivate
Daredevil.
yourself.
Yeah, we just activated myself. And if I go EVA, which I could right now,
Yep.
someone can come down and attack me with the claw.
Sure.
Yes. Now, I'll mention that to go EVA, you need to use the airlock section action. So that means the airlocks have to be functional. It's not just a normal step, whatever that's worth.
Okay, so where is... All right.
It's in the airlocks.
Oh, okay, so...
So he can
Okay, so-
just step out, though, right? They are functional.
They are functional. His free step from the adrenaline ability isn't useful in this situation because it's a section action to go into EVA.
Okay, so but I can move one down here.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that's one move. My second move would be to what? Activate the section, or
Well, you'll only get one move.
Why?
Didn't you activate the Daredevil previously?
yeah, but I'm revealed as a daredevil, right?
But
Yes,
you
but
still
if you-
only get one action because your marker's on it.
Oh, right. For
That's
some
why.
reason, I keep thinking I get two. You get two actions regardless. I see. Okay, well, never mind. We'll just stay down here, and I think that's me. It's boring, but it's fine.
All right, I'm moving the turn marker. 4 turns left.
I don't have enough actions. I hate this. And I was gonna kill Tony, Matt. You had a chance to let me.
What?
I could have helped you in this way, and so it's
I'm just trying to show off my rad skills. That's all. It's not harming anyone. I can take an artifact with me at the same time. Then great.
I paid you for your loyalty, Tony. I want my money back.
Hey, you don't get any money back. I've seen the havoc you've been wreaking in the top of the station. So it's pretty cool, though. You know, as a daredevil, I'm quite up for it.
There was a small industrial accident in the aft hub. The medical is on scene, and everyone's being processed appropriately. Everything's just fine.
I'm liking how risky everyone's being and dragging dead bodies out of fires and stuff. So I approve.
Heroic, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. So if
Gnarly,
that's the
I'd
case,
say.
we're g-
Gnarly.
So, well, hold on. Wait, maybe we can.
But let's not be killing the
That's
daredevil yet.
one. Nope. 1, 2. Nope. All right, we're gonna reveal as the Astro Chimp to the shock of no one.
You get
There's
those
a-
cubes back?
I do. So that's the
Oh,
important
that's
thing.
bad.
I was gonna say you probably need those.
That's bad.
So I could do that, couldn't I?
Where is the chimp? Oh,
The
yeah,
chimp
I
is
see. The chimp is here.
smoldering,
Yeah.
here.
Is it worth it to just for chaos? Is it worth it?
It's never not worth it.
Okay, noted. Then I'm gonna grab these 3 cubes. Whoops. Eventually. I'll try this.
Just don't do what I think you're going to do.
Oh, I'm going to.
I think Matt deserves some payback.
I would, but to hell with it. So here we go.
Monster. This is why I put 4 on it in the first
Yep,
place.
I
To
know.
stop you
Hey,
doing
hey,
exactly
you
that.
chose this route. This isn't what I wanted to do. You have forced my
don't
hand.
give me the. It's not.
So the engineer is going to activate. The engineer is going to move 1. Second action is going to rob you. Oh,
do you
wait,
rob
wait,
me?
wait.
Does not have a
He's
I
not
got a
down.
weapon. You no weapon.
Ah. Oh, you might so be in luck.
Yeah, that's not a thing you can do.
I made very, very sure that the engineer did not have a weapon. So I could have gone and got one with it.
That was the right choice, Tony. Sometimes it's hard to tell when decisions are correct or not, but that one was correct.
Yeah. You can't just rob me with your glowing personality.
That's
Edward.
right. Give me your wallet. Or
Just
what?
please. Yeah, yeah.
Or I will.
Because I
Talk to
said
you.
so. Yeah.
Twirl your
To
mustache.
hell with
up.
it. We're still going to do it. Here we go. We're going to move 1. Free pickup. That's
Yeah.
going to be 2. Then,
Have you got the compromat for the
damn Skippy, we do.
Of course you do.
That's
Of course
3,
you do.
which is a move. And then,
Yep.
you know what? Because I'm a bitter some bitch, we're going to bribe him, and I'm going to down you.
So this all is lovely, Edward, and is such a brilliant and a well-executed use of multiple game concepts.
Yeah, you know what? Just,
However,
oh, no, what?
However, the Daredevil possesses a helmet, and helmets protect humans against being attacked by bludgeons. So you cannot attack the Daredevil.
So I can't get anything from him.
Also, the Daredevil is prideful and cannot be robbed. The Daredevil is in an incredibly advantageous position to escape scot-free.
Can we zoom over? Can we have a look at that, Edward? The bit that says cannot be robbed.
But there's also there is something I can do, but I'm coming as fast as I can. Let's just say these cyborg legs can only carry me so far.
Well, okay, if I can't do all of that, then screw it, I won't. Golly.
Okay.
But it was a cool idea.
It was.
It was -1 helmet, and that is a incredible turn.
Well, never mind. Back it up. Give me my cubes back.
I got you.
Then I just add 1 onto medical. There. God, you're so lucky, Tony.
Such an enemy of like.
That was so that
cool
that showed
gnarly
off
action.
really. Yeah. That was.
So that's going to be 1.
That's free.
That's, and that's free also.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and our second is there.
Yep.
Coming to get me.
All right, what you doing, Matt?
That
Done.
medical robot is the absolute bane of my existence. I'm giving it another point, by the way.
Well, it was a cool idea, though, if nothing else. So I feel good about the idea. You're lucky, Tony.
What you doing, Matt?
I'm just gonna chase. I'm gonna go full chase. I'm gonna pump those little robot legs I got, and I'm gonna move 1
Taking my compromat back, too.
to the forward airlocks, and that is unfortunately all I can do. Dang. All right, that's all I can do.
All right, I am going to activate the troubleshooter again. And this is getting timed launched. So I'll go get my little timer. Doopy-doo. And there we go. That's it.
Tony?
Okay.
So I can't get that artifact from him at all, can I?
No, you're really stuck there.
No, that artifact is pretty well stuck.
So the problem here
Damn
is
it.
that I've only got 1 action, and if I go EVA, you'll just down me with the claw.
Yeah.
Run away! Run away!
But I mean, I've only got 1 action, right? And I've
Yeah.
not got a weapon.
Yeah.
And
It's only got 1 action, no weapon.
and here's my concern is you've got that brutal ability which will get through my my helmet and
It
down.
will if I use up the weapon, yes.
I don't see any way I'm not going to be downed here. Anyway, we could do something else though, because
Well, hold on. To be clear, you can't injure him, and you can't steal from him.
Due to my brutal ability, I can down
brutal
him.
ability.
Oh, you can. Oh.
It breaks the weapon, but
Yeah.
it does down me. So let's not.
You could
worry
always
about
run to where the medic is.
it. Yeah, but only with only one action. That seems.
Or bring the med to you.
Tell me about jury rigging.
Sure. Jury rig can be used to revive a downed robot or repair a damaged section.
Okay. Are you considered the robot?
I am considered a robot. I'm very
Does
much
ju-
considered a robot.
Does jury rig require a weapon?
No. To
Cool.
revive, but it only revives, doesn't down them.
Oh, it repairs. Okay, I read the jury.
Repairs.
I see. I think I read the word down as a verb rather than, I thought it said as an action, you can repair a co-located.
Well, no, that's
section.
an interesting point. It should, that down is not a verb there, but that may be a source of some confusion. And I know Andy's listening in. I'm hoping he'll read a note about that.
Yep,
So it's maybe
that-
like
that
repair
should be-
either a co-located no entry section or a down robot. Oh well, I can't do what I thought I was going to do anyway.
Yes.
That's a real shame. If only I'd given the engineer a weapon. Hey, Edward.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to do that, but I can't. I'm kind of stuck with that, so I really am stuck with that. The station chief's down. The engineer has all my cubes, almost literally all my cubes. I don't see any way I won't get knocked down. So if I just deviate, what happens if I go down in space? Do I just float about until someone revives me?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, we
Well,
might
that's
poke at you with a claw for a bit just to make sure you're dead. But
And if I did, my dead body can be like robbed pretty easily, right?
yes.
Oh, I'm at absolute in a dead end here. I really am in a dead end because I can't get out there. I can't attack the cyborg with the engineer because the engineer is not able to do it. I mean, I could give it a bash though.
Can you hurt the cyborg?
Not really. I don't have a weapon.
Well, no.
the
Yeah.
cyborg has a helmet, and so it's
Yeah.
very difficult to
Gotcha.
deal with.
Yeah, so even if the engineer went and picked up that wrench, that wouldn't really help.
Gotcha.
I'm doomed essentially. The Daredevil may well have had their day, which
I welcome this. That
course you
warms
do.
the cockles of my heart.
Of course you do. So in that case, let's have a
Worst
just
comes to
quick
worst,
chance.
bring the medical to you.
Yeah, that's almost tempting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to get one action with it though, right?
No. Oh, right. Yeah, you only get one because I'm on
I only
it.
get one action with it. Yeah, it turns out. Yeah. And that would cost me all my cubes, man. That's really bad. Right, so let's stop messing about. Let's do. Oh, and I can't damage that with that. He. 1, 2. I don't see any. Oh my god. I'm absolutely paralyzed here, which you can probably tell. So in that case, we'll do this instead. We're going to. Where is that? My god. Plonk. Going to use the engineer after all. And
That's 2.
yeah, I'm done.
All right.
I'm moving the turn marker. We're down to approximately
okay.
3 turns.
All right.
Oh, so close.
So I am going to use my bribe now on the counselor. Counselor is going to throw me the helmet right?
It can hand it, yes.
Or
give
hand
give
it,
to you.
I
Just
guess.
hand, yeah. Just hand.
Okay. And then we'll go right there.
Yeah.
Done. Because I can't, there's no way I can get in there before Jess launches, unfortunately. I am one action short.
Okay, I'm going to activate myself. I'm going to smash the airlock with my first
Oh.
action using the sabotage. And
So how do you get 2 actions then? Oh, because of
Because
the
it's
uncanny
special ability.
Right?
Yep.
This is why I keep thinking I would get 2, but I
Yep.
forgot about the ability.
It's
Cyborgs-
only the cyborg.
Cyborg
cheat.
seems pretty good,
And the stranger. So
Fair,
there are
and the-
there are
Yes, that's true.
characters who have the
Good
uncanny
call.
ability are the ones that can do that.
I'm going to move
So that was
to the
sabotage
bridge.
and
right?
move,
Smash and a
right?
move. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I can stop the release, but yeah, whatever. All right,
Jess?
done.
Interesting. So the first thing that happens is these guys launch, right? Because
No, at the end of your turn, this will launch.
Okay.
With the
that's
monkey
fine.
saying, wait for me.
Oh,
Yep.
if you weren't revealed, I could have saved the monkey, but I can't do anything.
Oh, wait a minute.
What?
Acrobatics. Gain 0 born. When activated. When activated as an action. Oh, yeah, I did. Hold on. I forgot to move my marker. Thank you. Peanut gallery. So right here.
Oh,
As an action, can free step into a 0 gravity section instead of a free pickup or drop. So I was actually down here. So free, 1,
Yep.
and here, let me join the party, boys.
that's absolutely correct.
Woohoo!
Nice.
Disgusting.
We're hanging out. I don't
There
mind
we
the
go.
monkey.
There's
Eric?
exactly 3 seats, and all of them are
We've
taken.
made it in. All
The
right.
Daredevil is like, there's going to be way too many people with the same
So
story.
what do we have open here?
Oh, that feels so good.
Sucks.
Oh. Oh, but does he, Matt?
Yes.
If he's downed, does he score?
If he's downed and escapes, he still counts as escaped. But
Okay.
I have a
yes.
helmet.
Oh,
And
you have a helmet.
he also has a helmet. He's a pretty tough cookie, actually.
Don't mess with my chimp.
And he's not going to drop that briefcase for nothing.
And the reason a helmet is because I had to
Why
make it
isn't
through the
he?
fire.
Hold on. Why isn't he going to drop the briefcase?
Oh, if with a helmet, it would be difficult to rob him.
Okay.
I'm just imagining the monkey with 2 hands wrapped around the thing. Maybe one of its.
I mean, that's fair too.
one of
I'm
its
just
prehensile
saying, I
feet.
have the wrench, so I was just trying to see.
You could destroy my helmet, but it doesn't hurt me, right? Correct?
It couldn't even destroy the helmet.
Oh, it
No,
doesn't.
that's
Okay.
not how it works. Yeah.
Only
no.
the cyborg, the vicious, murdering, pursuing cyborg has all the offensive capabilities here.
That's so
and
nasty.
exploiting, but generally.
Okay. So nothing I can
helmets
do
make
to
you
the
pretty
monkey
tough.
because even though I have a weapon, and the stranger's in there, stranger can heal, but that's it. Okay.
Yes.
So nothing up there with the monkey. Who else could I go 2-step with? Where's I can't use. Oh, I can use medical again. Medical
There was one thing I needed to look at.
because the cyborg wants characters with badge that is down.
Yeah.
So I can go and revive the station chief. And that would be one
That
less
is
point.
a thing that could be done.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, consider the cyborg's about to unleash hell on the poor engineer who's standing at the bridge. So doing all the hard work.
Well, that's why, I mean, I can't take over the cyborg. So there's nothing I can do
Yeah.
there. I can't take over the daredevil.
No, you can't.
So there's nothing I can super do to help you down there, unfortunately. And you made the engineer untouchable for me. So can't help you, Tony. You set that up. I got nothing for you. But
There's a plan
can-
which hasn't.
I can
You're about to
hurt
escape, so-
Matt. The other thing I could do is put out that fire because that'll take 2 points from Matt.
That's true.
How can I put out the fire?
A console action will get it done.
All right, so I could take over. Can medical make it to a console? Oh, there's a console in the mainframe.
The inspector.
One,
Get the
two.
I mean, it's not gonna.
Nope.
Yeah.
The counselor can't get there. That one can't get there.
And
looking for
while
some-
Jess is thinking, Matt,
Mhm.
how? Shoot, I had a question. What was it? Oh, right. How do you get cubes back? Or
So instead of your activation phase, you
Yeah.
can do what's called a renegotiate. So
That's
basically,
it.
you pass your activation, you take 1 cube back from any non-escaped, non-annihilated character, and you also take your activation disc back.
gotcha.
That's a possibility, and we are definitely at the stage of the game where if you've scored your point, if you're Jess and you've escaped in the night with your inspector shuttle full of monkeys or whatever, then you might be looking at, hey, am I over my conspiracy limit or influence limit?
Oh
Because
yeah,
if I
which is
am-
exactly where I'm at, right? So
Mhm.
I have 5, but I have 6 out there. So
Yes, then you're probably going to want to try to fit in a renegotiate before
Right.
the end of the game.
Yeah.
And you're in
Right.
great shape to do that, it looks like.
And how many turns left do we have? 2.
3 different for
1,
different
2.
people, but you have 3 more.
Okay. I'm going to move the counselor over to a council for no reason.
Counselor to the console.
I
Okay.
approve. I approve.
All right. Mm,
all right, Tony,
God, it's me. So,
run away,
bear in
run away.
mind- so hang on. That was the end of Jess's turn. Does that ship launch?
yes,
Oh.
this ship launches, and I don't know. We'll put it down here in the mesosphere to show that it's reached safety. We will. And it's even got a chimp on board.
It does have a chimp on
mascot,
board.
Let's say. So I'm gonna put escaped markers onto the troubleshooter and the astro chimp and
Oh, yeah.
whoever else escaped.
And
So
it
we
was the
don't-
stranger.
So we still don't
Yes.
know which one
Jess is.
Jess is.
Might be none of those.
That'd be
Yeah.
fun.
Yes.
Matt
Well,
knows.
the
Don't tell him.
answer is she's not either of them until she decides to do the reveal.
She's the stranger.
So,
yeah. She's,
but,
which means she's a stranger. Yeah.
But the point is, you can't renegotiate from escaped characters. They are out of transmission range, so you can't influence them, can't renegotiate with them. Just keep that in mind if
Yep.
you're planning on escaping anytime soon. I think we've reached our full complement of escaped characters in the game, but we'll see.
I can't believe she's a stranger.
Good luck fixing those airlocks, buddy.
So I'm just going to walk about the station, trying to kill time while you wander along behind me, destroying all the airlocks. And even if I get out of the airlock, you'll hit me with a cargo claw.
You just have to survive till the end, and then you point break it, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, I do, but not.
Yes.
I mean, which is the way I wanted this game to go.
You need to run like mad
Yeah.
away from the murderous robot that decided not to
Yep.
break its only weapon again over your head and use it on the airlocks instead.
Yeah, you have more actions than I do. But anyway,
That's
let's
true.
do this.
I've also
let's
got
do
more
this.
stuff to do.
That is true for your. I'm only going to 3 or maybe 5 points, maybe 6 if I think of a thing to do. Okay, so let's do the Daredevil, and that will simply, as you so rightly say, go at 1. And are you going to trigger that medical bot to hit me? No, because the bot's got no
Nope, no weapon.
weapon. So
I'll
we'll
also
just end
mention
up
that you get a free step into hazards.
here. Do I know? That's
And you have a helmet, right?
I
Yeah.
do have a helmet. It doesn't matter. I'm a Daredevil. I can go through fire anyway.
Yeah. And that gets you further away.
It does get me further away.
And it's where everyone's dead, so we can't activate.
Gnarly. Loving it.
I'll
Yeah,
tell
let's
you,
just do that.
nothing gets your adrenaline going like being chased by a murderous half robot
Through
through fire and
through zero gravity rooms full of dead bodies.
I
Yeah.
have.
that's right.
This is hot. This is hot. Yeah, that's
All
me.
right.
I'm done. I don't have anything to pick up. I don't think all my free
know
actions are
that.
done. So let's go.
Okay.
All right, I'm moving the turn marker. And Edward,
And
two
two
turns
turns left,
left,
including
most
this one,
likely.
right?
Yes, everyone has 2 turns left at a minimum, maybe 3. There's a 1 in 3 chance we get one more turn.
Oh, I've just realized what I should be doing. Damn it.
So I'm just, I mean, we're off the ship. I'm trying to help people as I do. So if you want to help people.
No, I'm aware. I'm aware. So I'm gonna activate medical.
Mm-hmm.
Here, robot. Medical is gonna mosey on up. That is a
Don't go up.
free action.
Go down, man. Sort the.
That's free.
Okay, carry on.
He's going to drag the exile
Yeah. Okay, the exile. All right.
as action 1, and then revive.
See, but watch out. Did you see the exile doesn't have a badge? We're looking at reviving people with badges.
Oh,
The exile is not a officer.
Revive the station chief.
oh.
Do it with
as
the station
opposed to-
chief.
Well, I feel like that wouldn't be fair at this point,
Okay.
since
Perfectly fair.
but I hear
it's
you.
perfectly fair, but like you just
So-
watch your things. These
Yep,
are
yep,
what
my
you're
bad.
going for.
Totally my bad. All right, I'm done. That's me.
It also could be a bonus card or something like that. All right, I'm going to activate the cyborg. I'm going to murder the engineer. Who could have seen this coming? And can I use 2 actions to extra murder the engineer? Hey, please stay like super dead. I did stop the release of the monster. I was deeply worried that you were going to score that point, but doesn't really matter. I guess I'm just going to chase you, but I don't think I can catch you. I need more time. That's it. That's my turn.
J-Rex.
Okay, so I have a choice. I can go get this officer, but I'll save that one. And right now I'm going to make this into a gas instead of a fire. Because
Which that costs points. Yep.
2 points to the lovely designer of this game. So there we go.
Gas.
So
All right.
I only have 1 action because I was already the counselor. So
Right.
that's what we're doing with that.
All right. Are you done?
Mm-hmm.
Tony.
I don't have any ability to revive that guy, do I? As the daredevil.
No, you got a lot of stuff, but
I don't have
I mean,
that
you've got
much.
this healing crystal. I've heard rumors that that works real well. No, you have no way to revive, but you can drag.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's.
Any player can drag, right?
And
Yes,
that's
you
just
can drag a single body, a single section.
okay. And that's 1 action.
It's just part of your movement. It's
It's
part
part
of
of
taking a
movement.
step.
However, my guy there is. Where's
I mean,
his-
you could move the station chief over to where the medical is.
Yeah, that's very true. Have I got things on this? I can't move the station chief. The station chief's down, right? Oh, I can drag the station chief into which is exactly what we just said. Sorry.
Weekend at Bernie style. I think you can
Yeah.
move the station chief around, kind of
two
wave the
people from-
arm.
Propping him
need
up
2
by the jukebox, and oh yeah.
I need 2 people to fireman's lift him to be for Weekend at Bernie's. You're gonna chase me 1, 2. I don't think you can catch me. So what I could probably do is maybe not move and hope that you're not gonna catch me. 2 moves. You don't get any free stepping into a gas place or anything like that, do you?
No.
And I don't think you've got a way to attack me, even if it was the exile, because the exile's got no weapons. So let's try doing something silly, which is 2 turns left, 1 turn left.
This is one of those classic moments in Stationfall,
One after this.
Tony, where something goes wrong. Where this is
Yeah.
where you get greedy and something goes
Yeah.
wrong, man. I just
I'm
want
a
to say
daredevil.
I said it.
I can't play it safe. Playing it safe is entirely against character.
There you go.
So, sure, I could move 1 up here and then move 1 up the next turn, and I'm never going to get out. I'm just going to point break. In fact, what we're talking about, I'm point breaking. Yeah, okay.
You don't need to get out. You need to
don't-
survive.
I don't. In fact, I don't want to get out. I want to point break, which is different.
Yeah, like
think it's true.
Yeah. So I'm not going to win, but I am going to do what I said I would do. Just
Hey,
do what-
then
There
you
you
know
go.
what? Isn't that kind of winning?
Yeah. And I'm going to do exactly what we all said, which is to do that.
Drag the body.
Drag the body.
That medical robot. I did everything I could to stop that fiend.
And
Hold
that is
on.
me. I just,
Have we been moving this?
Yes, there's
Okay.
only
Yes,
been
yes,
All right.
we have.
3.
I'm gonna love it if Jess
Oh,
is
there's one more.
actually.
I think it's actually 4 because of the exile.
Yep. If Jess is actually medical, that'd be hysterical.
That would be
I
a
realize-
stone cold bluff right there.
That would be so good.
abandoned ship. Oh, see, I've just realized what I should have done. Anyway, I'm done. I've just realized the horrible mistake I've made.
All
Carry
right,
on.
so it moves.
What you gonna
And
do?
There's a good chance this is our last turn. And Edward.
okay. 7, 5. There's a good chance it's a wash. So I could do this one of 2 ways. So, you know what? I am going to what's it called? Retrieve? What's the term? Renegotiate.
Oh, renegotiate. Yes.
I'm going to renegotiate with the counselor.
Edward, if there's a choice for a shorter word or a longer word, assume I use the longer word.
Yes.
Fair point, lawyer Matt. Okay, so I did that, but now, am I allowed to do compromat and everything
No, you skip your activation phase.
entirely?
Mhm.
Hold on one second, then. Yeah, that's it. All right, we're done.
That's it.
All right, I'm going to activate the cyborg. I'm going to move into the fuel cells, and I'm done
no.
with my turn.
Okay.
Okay. Jess?
Cyborg has moved into fuel cells. What can happen in there? If damage, place a fire here. No!
Believe it or not, fires can be started in the fuel
I knew
cells.
something was up. I mean, that was definite to.
I'm low on turns. I need another turn to pull
Which
this off.
there's a
and-
2/3 chance not happening, right?
Right, exactly.
You have a helmet. You have a weapon. All right.
Yes.
there's
Could
nothing I
revive.
can do to go and hurt you in there. Okay, that's fine. I wish you had moved, Edward, because you're on here, but that's fine. Where's my A? I'm gonna take my thing and go to medical.
And what
I only
happens
get-
to mine, Matt, since it's the first time we've
Nothing.
done this?
Nothing
It stays
happens.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm gonna go in here, and I only have one action that I can take.
Yes.
So I am going to revive the station chief.
All right.
Tony?
But the
And
engineer's dead. He got it. He's done.
Oh,
this is-
hold on, back up. When I renegotiated, do I pull my activation token back?
Oh, you do.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, Jess,
Oh.
I thought that, a good call, Peanut Gallery. So, yeah. So, Jess, you actually get 2 actions with medical.
I don't know that I need them unless I want to move one of these guys, but I don't.
Good call, Paul. I thought so. You're right.
Well, this is the thing to grab. What's shred from? Oh, that's the data mine.
Compromise.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah,
for
but
compromise.
there
We've
aren't
got-
any.
Most of the secrets are out.
Cannot be tampered.
There's one that isn't. Oh, duh. There's 2 that aren't actually. But
So I can't get anybody to a console just in case there's that extra move is what I'm looking for. Oh, well, you know what? We still have the counselor hanging out over there at the mainframe. I'm
Uh-huh.
just saying. I already said it was past my turn. Yeah, Tony, go ahead.
so are we saying that this could be my last go?
Yes.
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 Okay.
This
in
could
which
be
case,
all of our.
It's this and maybe one more. But if
Yep.
it's one more,
This might be the
I'm
last
setting
action
up
of the
just
game.
in case.
Yep.
in which
Just
case,
in case Matt does something.
I am going to renegotiate and take a cube back.
There you go.
All right.
So I take cube back from anywhere, right?
Anywhere that's not escaped or annihilated.
dead.
But we don't have
Yes.
anyone annihilated. But
Then let's take off.
But dead, you can renegotiate from downed characters,
Oh, you
No.
can.
just not escaped.
Okay.
No, I quite like that. I quite like
All right.
paying respects to
That
the
should have
to
been
dead
up
engineer.
here.
I made a mistake too. I cost myself a point. So I lose by 1 point. That's why.
I got my point back.
All right, I'm going to reveal the. Assuming you're done, Tony.
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, sorry, I'll click on.
I'm going to reveal the last token. It indeed shows a fireball in Earth's atmosphere, thus ending our game of Stationfall. So we still have a player that has not revealed. So now is the time for you to reveal, Jess, and shock us all with your
Please be
deadpan
medical. Please be medical. Please be medical. All right.
Cannot-
makes
I
it a
cannot
lot more
believe
sense.
that. I should have seen that coming. I've got your compromat, and I could have kicked you out of that shuttle if I'd noticed one turn earlier. Yeah.
A classic issue,
Yeah.
the one turn of usually it's I didn't reveal soon enough. That's a common refrain. Okay, so
Yeah, it cost
did any
myself a
data escape? No, this wasn't
No.
a very data oriented playthrough. So we're going to look at scoring. And
Top to
we'll
bottom?
Start with Edward. Yeah, let's start with you
Yeah,
as
in
the
clear
Astro Chin.
order. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm looking at 3 points because I
Yes.
escaped, plus 2 because I have the lots of quiche.
Yes.
So here, okay, so here you go. There you go. So there's that.
Over here.
Okay, and then unfortunately, this is where I cost myself the 2 points. I should have gotten the exile out. So correct me if I'm wrong.
Escape, but maybe.
If I would have gone 1, 2, would those launch?
No, you would need somebody to do an action here in the aft airlocks on the
Okay.
last turn.
Well,
It
and
would have
the
been very
last
hard to get
thing
the exile.
that I could have done then with that is I could have put the stowaway in
Yes.
here, but it only would have gotten the stowaway there and not the action. I would have needed one more turn.
Do you have a bribe?
I do not. I've used it.
Then you would be done. Yes.
Okay.
But
So-
but that's a very I hadn't even considered the stowaway, but the stowaway is a perfect person to suddenly pop out of somewhere and push a button for
Push
you
a
in
button,
a dark,
exactly.
a dark area. That's,
So
that
5
would've been a good
points,
combo.
and then I have 5 cubes out because I have 3 left. So I finish
You're good.
5 points. And here, the 2 other compromats that I did not use, along with the stowaway. There we go. Done.
I needed that one so bad. All right.
Matt's
Okay,
up.
engineer or cyborg. All right, I scored none of you that made it. That monkey was clean, right? It didn't have any moss growing on it or anything.
No,
weird.
clean
All right,
monkey.
All right, so two points for that. I got 1 point for the engineer being down, puts me at 3. My fire got put out. I missed my shot at the fuel cells, so I just got 3 points for that. However, my bonus card, pretty good combo. The engineer being downed, it's a grudge. You remember when I said I really wanted the engineer down?
Yeah.
I really, really wanted the engineer down.
Nice.
There was a reason I left that daredevil to possibly escape, and in fact, it did escape because
Yeah, Daredevil did,
break out of here.
Yeah.
There's a reason I left him behind to go hunt down my true target. It wandered up to the bridge.
So 5 points.
I scored 5 points. I also matched my cube limit. I'll just mention, Edward, that the first tiebreaker is the number of cubes in betrayal. You want to have the least number of cubes in betrayal.
So I'm losing. Okay.
Regardless of anything else, I can say that at this moment, you're in last place. I'm in first place with total confidence, and I'm sure it's going to stay just that way.
Leader in the clubhouse. Yeah.
No.
Yes, Jess, why don't you...
Well, Matt,
let's
just
figure
to
out.
point out here, so the engineer is 2 points because it has 2 of those downed icons. Is that what we're looking at to
Yes.
say
Yeah.
2 points? Okay.
That's
just wanted
correct.
to call that out for folks. And then, yes, up here we have the stranger. My secret identity was not revealed until Stationfall, so that means I get 1 point for that. I do score bonus points because my other character is the troubleshooter.
Let's.
So
Oh,
I
Cha-ching.
can
Wow.
bring that. Here, I'll bring this out. So
Yeah,
that's the
flip 'em.
stranger. Here's the troubleshooter who I wanted to survive. So that one is going to be 2 points as shown down here. Yes,
There
thank
you go.
But an additional 2 points for that. So that's at 5. And if co-located with your bonus character at Stationfall, which I am,
There's 7.
so that is going to be 7. So yeah.
Did anyone bribe the stranger?
No bribes
on the stranger. So
You
this
get
is
a, 'cause
gonna be...
you get a point for the bribe, right?
Yes,
You
you
do.
would. You, oh, I should. Yeah, everyone who has unused bribes should score for those. We haven't had any of those yet, but
I
did you-
didn't use my bribe, so
but
that's
you do score. You do score
God.
for that. So you go to 8.
All right,
Damn
so
it.
Tony.
I don't
hang
think
on.
you can break 8.
The most important thing is, guys, I point break out of here.
That's right.
Fact.
Just
Well done.
was my ambition. So hang
All
on.
the news reports are going to say 3. Well, they'll probably say 2 survivors and a monkey is probably what the news will say. But then somewhere
really?
on Earth, the daredevil is going to come swooping down and
Gnarly. Right. Okay then. So I think I can get 6. Right. So 3 points for getting out.
escaping. Yep.
Yeah. 2 points because I had the artifact,
Yeah,
that's right.
and a point because I have a bribe.
the bribe right there.
There we go.
6.
6.
What
But
was your bonus card?
my bonus was a guy who has not moved since the beginning of the game, the inspector, and that's my huge mistake because I should have spent some turns trying to
They did. Yeah, they didn't
trying to
move.
get him escape.
Yep.
The compromat that I had, literally the turn before Matt revealed himself, and as previously mentioned, I should
That
have
one
used
could have
that.
saved. I mean, that last one
Yeah.
could have possibly swapped it. But
So 6 points.
6 points. 8 to 6 to 5 to 5. I'm
Well done, Jess.
proud of my 3rd place performance. I'm often mocked for how poorly I do at this game.
You were a monster in that game, though, literally.
You
And,
were a
well,
monster.
that is one way, one of many ways, but certainly a non-subtle way of playing the cyborg. Although I tried to do too many things. at the
Just
same
straight
time.
up, just mash.
Smash.
Ah,
Follow around the station, kill. Yeah.
Yes.
Nicely done.
that was a blast.
Diving at the fuel cells.
Yeah. So we're not going to do a roundtable on this because
No.
it's sponsored, but I will say I think it was pretty clear. We all had a really good time with this. So well done, Matt. That was a lot of
Thank
fun.
you.
Yeah, well done, Matt. Thanks for the teach and everything. That was
Yep.
great.
Absolutely my pleasure. It has, as you can see, a lot of intricacies that can take some time to learn, but it is a heavy game. It's a deep game, and I hope people check it out.
And people have said that they've called this a party game for heavy gamers. And, you know, the stories that we were able to tell through that with that damn, photo or the video of the green banana, like just, I mean, that's hysterical. That's awesome. That's really cool. So, all right, that's it. So check it out. Jess, how long is the Kickstarter running for?
Not much longer. So you should go back it now before it falls into Earth's atmosphere, apparently.
Burns up.
It burns up on re-entry. Yeah, you can check out the Kickstarter, just Kickstarter Stationfall. You'll find it. And
Links down below, too, by the way.
it is.
So. All right. Well, thanks again to Matt for joining us. Tony, Jess, that was a blast. Well done. Thanks for everybody that tuned in, had a good time spending your Saturday with us. Certainly appreciate it. If y'all did enjoy it, give it a thumb. Certainly would appreciate. Subscribe, support the show. If you think it's worth a couple bucks a month, certainly would appreciate it over on patreon.com/HCHQ. And with that, that's a wrap on the week. I am going to go take some drugs and chill out and relax now. That was a lot of fun, though.
Yes.
That was a
All
blast.
right, well, thanks.
so.
Thanks for having me. It was nice to meet you, Tony. Take care, guys.
All right,
Yeah.
take care.
Thanks,
Y'all have a
Scott.
great
Thanks,
rest
guys.
of your day. Social distance, wear your mask, be kind to one another, and we'll see you all next week. Take care, everybody. Well done, Jess.
Nice.